A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Bells. Stand by all stations.
Attention, all districts. A 5-alarm fire, 5 bells. Move in immediately.
That's it. Let's roll. Let's go. Firefighters.
Presenting Firefighters, the true-to-life story of our unsung heroes who stand ready to ride by day or night against our most murderous enemy, the demon of fire. In just a minute, we'll take you to the scene of the firemen's rally in City Park, where the fire department is putting on a monster demonstration of firefighting methods. Chief Cody has just heard some interesting news from Tim Collins, rookie fireman. But before we listen in, here's something you ought to know. Let's go, firefighters. Let's go to City Park, where a great crowd of thousands of men, women, and children is just breaking up. Today, they've watched a thrilling demonstration of modern firefighting methods, part of Chief Cody's campaign to remind the public of the menace of fire. In all the vast crowd, only one person has expressed anything but high praise for the fire department. And that one person, as Tim Collins tells Chief Cody, is a very important person to know.
It's Mr. Tennacombe, Chief. Eustace Tennacombe.
Tennacombe. Oh, yes. Tennacombe Towboat Company.
Yes, sir. He's here, Chief. He had my brother Jimmy guiding him around.
Good. Tennacombe is an important man in the city. If he's in sympathy with our program...
Well, I'm afraid he isn't, sir.
What?
No, sir. He looked over everything the fire department had to show, sniffed in that superior way of his, and said, there's still something missing.
He did, huh? Something missing?
Yes, sir.
Well, what's missing, Collins?
Well, he'll have to tell you himself, sir. He didn't say.
So he doesn't feel satisfied with our demonstration, huh?
There he is now, Chief.
Where?
Out there on the drill field.
Good. Come on, Collins. I'm going to interview Mr. Tennacombe. We'll find out what's missing, and maybe Mr. Tennacombe can supply it.
Sir?
Never mind. You'll see what I mean. I've had plans for him and his towboat company ever since that fire at the Tennacombe dock. Let's head him off before he leaves the park. Well, Mr. Tennacombe, I hear you're not satisfied with our demonstration.
Satisfied? Well, sir, my verdict is so-so.
So-so?
All well and good as far as it goes, but there's something missing, Chief.
Yeah, you've seen our equipment, first aid and salvage, rescue squad, and the searchlight company.
And the ladder truck and engine? You saw how we roll to a fire and knock it down.
Yet there's something missing.
Now, I'm not a fault finder, Chief Cody, but, well, to a man in my position...
To a man in your position, there's a serious weakness in our fire department, exactly.
Chief Cody, Mr. Tennacombe, maybe it's none of my business, but I don't get it.
Put yourself in my position, young man.
Sir?
You are Eustace Tennacombe. You are the proprietor of Tennacombe Towboat Company. 4 tugboats, a fine dock, coal yard, lumber yard, extensive interests, all along the waterfront. Extensive interests that extend themselves as more shipping increases the traffic on
Oh, I get it now. The waterfront is getting more important all the time. More boats and barges and other traffic on the water.
And the more important it gets, the less we can protect it. If we had a fire in some vessel anchored beyond reach from shore...
In the past, Chief, my men have served more than once. My tugs are equipped with fire hoses.
Yes, but we've never really had a really serious fire on the water, not yet.
Not yet, Collins, but we will. Sooner or later, where there's risk, there's fire.
Well, we need a fireboat. We need a boat that can act as a floating pumper, ladder truck, a combination fire company. But where can we find what we need?
That is the problem, gentlemen. What can be done about it?
No, that's our problem, Tennacombe. What are we going to do about it, you and I?
You and I? You would permit me to assist?
You have the boats, Tennacombe. You know the situation. We have the equipment to refit one of your tugs. Turn it into an auxiliary fire company. If you will go along with the plan.
Why, Chief Cody, I hadn't hoped. This has been one of my projects, but Why, Chief, by all means, my fleet is at your disposal.
Great blazing blisters. Tentacombe, why didn't I mention this to you months ago?
It had occurred to you, really, to invite my assistance.
My whole plan for protecting the waterfront depends on your assistance, Tentacombe. I've been trying for months to figure out how to get you interested when all I had to do was get in touch with you and say, let's go.
By all means, let's go.
With Chief Cody to make up his mind as to act, and for once he has met his match, Tentacombe falls in eagerly with Chief Cody's plan to refit one of his tugboats as a floating firefighter, and the men put their heads together over sheaves of blueprints. And in due time, the chosen tugboat, the Eustace T, is sent to the shipyard for refitting. Powerful pumps are installed. Deck guns to direct a terrific force of water in any direction are emplaced. Lengths of hose and all the equipment of a pump engine and ladder truck combined are stowed aboard. And then comes the problem of manning the newest piece of apparatus in the fire department.
But, Chief, I insist. The crew must be firemen.
No, Tentacombe. Now, if this were a fireboat, plain and simple...
But it is! I place it fully and freely at the service of the fire department. The Eustace T is yours.
No, sir. You'll keep her in service as a tugboat, except in emergency.
But I insist!
No, so do I. Now, don't you see? The way the Eustace T is fitted, she can work the waterfront as usual. Earn her keep. Then, in emergency...
You expect my crew to fight your fires?
They can take her to the scene of any fire. And anywhere in range of the waterfront, I can have a fire company aboard her in 5 minutes.
By launch?
By speedboat. That makes the Eustace T just what we need. A valuable auxiliary, always on hand.
What confound it, Chief Cody? What do my men do? Twiddle their thumbs until the firemen get there?
Well, of course not. They grapple the burning ship, throw the pumps into gear, hook up the hose line.
They do. And where, may I ask, did they learn all these skills and abilities?
They've been trained. They've been drilled. When there's an alarm on the waterfront, they get to the scene, get set up for my men to take over.
They've been trained, have they? When were they trained? Where? By whom?
I'll show you. I've got just the man for the job. Oh, Glover. Confound that clerk of mine. He's never at his desk when...
Oh, there he is, coming out of the file closet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Glover, get hold of Private Collins, Engine Company 209. Make out an order assigning him to special duty. I've got a job for young Collins to handle.
Next morning, following Chief Cody's order to report for a special assignment, Tim Collins makes his way to the waterfront. He is ahead of time, but already Chief Cody and Eustace Tentacombe are standing on the Tentacombe dock, waiting for the Eustace T, refitted as an auxiliary fireboat, to arrive from the shipyard. Tim approaches his commanding officer and salutes.
Private Collins reporting for special assignment, Chief.
At ease, Collins.
Yes, sir.
Morning, Collins.
Good morning, sir.
All this formality, Chief Cody, salutes and reports and so on. Yet, between you and your men, complete understanding, friendly as an old shoe. Everybody puts his shoulder to the wheel. How do you train them?
Any good fire department has discipline, Tentacombe. How about it, Collins?
Oh, yes, sir. When we get an order, we jump. You may not know what it means, but your officer does. So, well, you jump.
But that's not all, Tentacombe. These men of mine, they can use their heads, too.
Like the captains of my tugboats. Heads hard as rocks, but useful.
Captain Juckle's the man you'll be working with, Collins. You follow the plan we laid out. Train Juckle and his crew to work the Eustace T as an auxiliary fireboat.
Yes, sir.
And during this course of training, Captain Juckle takes his orders from you.
Now, there's a problem, Chief Cody.
What problem? I thought we had everything ironed out.
Juckle, good man, best of my tugboat captains, comes from a long line of seafaring men, officers in coal barges, lumber floats, tugs.
Well, that's what we want, isn't it? A real sailor.
Juckle's headstrong, Chief. Strong head, Collins. Chief Cody says you can use your head. But sooner or later, you'll bump heads with Captain Juckle.
Well, I'll do my best to get along with him, Mr. Tentacombe, but...
But what, Collins?
Well, but if they do bump heads, you needn't worry about Collins, Tentacombe. That's why I picked him for the job. He can handle it.
Well, I hope we can handle Captain Juckle. Ah, there she comes.
Who?
The Eustace T. Oh, look there, Chief. Just coming into sight.
And coming fast. That's a pretty sight, Tentacombe.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Oh, boy, what a boat.
That's power, my boy. Strength in every line. And how she gleams. How the sunlight glitters on her deck.
They ought to be covered, sir. They need protection when the Eustace T is in service as a tug.
Well, that's something you can take up with the captain.
Good grief. Who's that? On the foredeck, that man heaving those hawsers around.
Looks like the whole crew rolled into one. Who is it, Tentacombe?
Oh, didn't they tell you? That's Captain Juckle.
Oh, so that's the hard-headed Captain Juckle, huh? Well, Collins, if it comes to bumping heads with that human battering ram, you'd better wear your helmet.
Tim Collins, rookie fireman, is about to run into a difficulty that Chief Cody didn't foresee when he assigned Tim to train the crew of the fire department's new auxiliary, the tugboat Eustace T. For Tim's first meeting with a hard-headed Captain Juckle, be sure to listen to our next true-to-life episode of The Firefighters. In just a moment, Chief Bob Cody will tell you, boys and girls, how you can help the firefighters in your own town. But first, here's a message you ought to hear. And now, Chief Bob Cody with a special notice for the Firefighters Brigade. Chief Cody.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your friend, Chief Cody. And here's something I hope you'll remember. If you ever have to send in an alarm in case of fire, don't delay. Now, as soon as fire breaks out, call the fire department. We don't mind if we find the fire has been put out before we get there. But we do want to get there in time, in case the fire should be too much for you to handle. And those first few minutes are the most important. So give the firemen a chance. Don't hesitate to ring in that alarm at the first sign of danger. Well, that's all, and so long for now.
Fire Chief Cody and the young rookie fireman Tim Collins will be back on the same station the next time you hear...
That's it. Let's roll. Let's go. Firefighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is floor. F-L-O-O-R. And Groucho, in just a few minutes, there'll be no more secret about America's most exciting new car, the DeSoto Fire Dome 8.
Oh, really?
You bet your life. More than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers of America present Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood. And here he is, the one, the only...
Groucho! He's been on before, hasn't he? Oh, that's me! Something earlier. Well, here I am again with $1,500 for one of our couples.
Well, Groucho, we asked for men with unusual occupations tonight, and just before we went on the air, our studio audience selected Mr. James McClellan. His partner is a housewife from the studio audience, Mrs. Peggy Nagel. And here they are. Folks, come on in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers, and don't forget, in just a few minutes, we'll hear all about America's most exciting new car, the DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Now, if you say the secret word, you divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Just step up a little bit, Peggy. Atta girl. Atta, Peggy. Mrs. Mrs., Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, calling you Peggy. I hardly know you, Mrs. O'Neill, is it? Nagel, huh? And Mr. James McClellan. Yes, McClellan. Where are you from, Peggy?
I'm from Marshalltown, Iowa.
Marshalltown, Iowa? Mm-hmm. And how long ago since you left there?
Well, I was 4 years old about.
Oh, 16 years ago, huh? How long have you been married, Peggy?
7 years.
7 years? Well, then you must be more than 20, huh?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. What sort of work does your husband do, Peggy?
He has an upholstery shop.
Oh, that's pretty stuffy work, isn't it? An upholstery shop?
Yeah.
And Mr. McClellan, is that...
Yes.
You know there was once a mayor in New York named McClellan?
No.
You didn't know that?
Never heard of him.
Oh, well, then obviously you're not related to him, huh?
Oh, I don't think so.
I'll call you Jim, huh?
All right.
And that'll be Jim Dandy. Where are you from, Dandy? Jim?
Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, huh?
Yes.
How long have you been living in California?
I don't live in California. I live in Wichita, Kansas.
Oh, and you go home every night? Is that what? Take the Wiltshire bus right out Glendale. Well, what are you doing out here, Jim? Is this a pleasure trip?
No, I came out here to get on this program.
Well, then it certainly isn't a pleasure trip. It's a long way from Kansas. What made you think you'd be on the show after you got here?
I wasn't sure I would be. This is the 6th time I've come out here to try to get on the show.
6th time you've
Yes.
been on here? My sponsors come out from Detroit 7 times trying to get me off the show. Well, this is indeed flattering to have you spend all that time and money just to be on the show. And for all you know, you might wind up in Grant's Tomb with $12.50. That's a nice prospect facing a man. How much have you spent just to be on this show? And invested, I mean.
No, I haven't spent anything. I come out here free on the Union Pacific Railroad.
Well, do you come in the train or under it?
No, I come in the train.
In the train?
Yes.
Well, that runs into money, doesn't it?
No, I ride free.
Yeah, well, how do you do that?
Well, I work part-time as a brakeman and third cook on dining cars.
You're a third cook?
Yes.
What are you in charge of the succotash or something? Imagine, combination cook and brakeman. Huh? If the spaghetti is sliding too fast, he puts the brake on. Did you ever serve brake lining instead of cornbread? No. Well, I don't understand. How? What do? You ride in the back in the caboose and then you run forward if they have to make something? What's the difference between a third cook and a first cook?
Well, the first cook is the last cook to get up in the morning. The third cook is the first cook to get up in the morning. The first cook is the first cook to go to bed at night, and the third cook is the last cook to go to bed at night.
Well, here we are, back with Abbott and Costello. But when are you the brakeman?
Oh, about in the fall part of the year.
Oh, I see. You cook in the spring and then you're a brakeman in the fall. Well, do you cook in the brakeman's outfit or do you break in the cookman's outfit? Imagine. And how far did you travel, Peggy, to be on this show?
About a mile.
See, people come from all over the world just to be on this show. Now, in just 1 minute, you're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at the $1,500 question. Right now, I want you to pay close attention to this. It's the big DeSoto announcement we've all been waiting for.
Announcing the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8. It's now at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. The most exciting new automobile in America. The beautiful new DeSoto with the most exciting new engine in America. The 160 horsepower Fire Dome V8 engine. Here is an entirely new kind of automobile engine with hemispherical or dome-shaped combustion chambers that produce more work per unit of fuel. This means that the new DeSoto Fire Dome 8 gives you plenty of reserve power and acceleration at all speeds and on regular gasoline. See this great new car, the DeSoto Fire Dome 8. Stop at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers tomorrow and try it from behind the wheel. The new 160 horsepower DeSoto Fire Dome 8.
All right, here we go. Now, let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected anatomical terms. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
Want me to explain the rules to him first?
Well, yes, if you care to.
All right.
And talk slowly until I get this stogie going. Huh?
All right. You bet as much of your $20.
Slower.
You bet as much of your $20.
Slower.
You take your $20.
Faster, huh?
You bet as much of your $20 as you
Faster, Fenneman. I'm all there.
On each of 4 questions, you see, and then I forgot the rules. You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions.
Unless he does it all together, he can't do it. Huh?
Well?
Well, explain the rules.
Oh, all right.
I'd like to understand them, too. Eh?
You bet as much of your $20 as you want on each of 4 questions, and the couple that earns the most money gets a chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question at the end of the show.
All right, now you have $20. Now, how much are you going to bet at the 20?
18.
$18. All right. The word pedal pertains to what part of the body?
Foot.
Foot is right.
You're off to a good start, Jeff. $38.
Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. Now, how much of the $38 will you try this time?
36.
Fine.
36. The word manual pertains to what part of the body?
Hand.
Hands is right.
You now have $74.
Now, how much will you bet?
How much you want to bet?
You have $74.
73.
Talk up, Peggy.
All right.
Make believe you're talking to your
73.
husband.
73.
How much? 73. The word nasal pertains to what part of the body?
The nose.
No.
Nose is right.
You've now climbed to $147.
And here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much of the 147 are you going to risk?
130.
$130. The word epidermal refers to what part of the body?
The scalp. The skin.
Skin is right.
And you wind up with $277.
Put it there, Peggy. Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.
We have a boarding house keeper and a husband from the audience, Groucho. Mrs. Ann Berner and Mr. Charles Hurtleston. Come in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Well, welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mrs. Ann Berner and Charles Hurtleston. Mrs. Ann Berner, you're the boarding house keeper, I presume, eh?
Yes.
Where are you from, Ann?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta? Oh, are you married, Ann?
Yes, I am.
You are, huh? How long have you been married?
5 years.
5 years, huh? You, are you the husband, Mr. Hurtleston?
I'm a husband, not her husband.
You don't come running to me with your problems. Where are you from, Charlie? You're a fine-looking young fella.
I'm from Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh. Are all the young fellas down there as handsome as you are, Charlie?
Well, I don't know.
How long have you been married?
15 months.
Meet her was she from Dallas?
No, that's our nicest suburb.
I thought Neiman Marcus was the suburb before that. Now, Mrs. Berner, you operate a boarding house.
I do.
What's the name of this place?
It's the New Hampshire house.
This is in Vermont?
No. It's on New Hampshire Avenue.
Oh, here locally, huh? Well,
Yeah.
what kind of a boarding house is it? Some
It's
of
a
our
thi-
listeners may be interested, you know.
It's a theatrical.
Pretty hungry-looking crowd out there tonight.
It's a theatrical boarding house.
Oh, theatrical boarding house? Oh, you save a lot of hams there, huh?
You have to be in some end of show business to get in.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the end of show business. About to shove me out of the whole thing. I used to play one end of a horse in vaudeville. Would that qualify me? Now, how large a place is this bird cage that you operate?
Rooms.
26 rooms?
Yes.
Show people a big appetite, you know. How big are the helpings at your
Oh,
place?
you can have as much as you want, and then if you want a second helping, we'll even give you the second steak if you want
Well,
it.
that's most generous of you, Mrs. Berner.
Because it only costs 60 cents to buy a steak today, the way I buy them.
Well, are you in close contact with a veterinary? Where you...
Well, I get the steaks anyway.
I'll say you get them anyway. Now, you're going to play You Bet Your Life. You beat our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the $1,500 question. I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The housewife and the railroad cook won $277. And the secret word is floor.
By the way, I understand, before I proceed with this, I understand your old quizmaster is on the cover of this week's parade. That's the Sunday Picture Magazine. Just thought I'd warn you so you can hide it from the children. Here we go. Let's see how high I can build you $20. You selected songs about water as your category. Here's your first question. How much will you bet? You have $20.
15.
15.
$15. Here's your first question. What is the name of this song? Play, Jerry.
$35.
Remember, you're going for $1,500 tonight. How much of the $35 will you bet?
20.
20.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the title of this song. Okay, Jerry. Lazy River is right.
You now have $55.
How much you going to bet?
50.
Yeah.
$50. All right. Play, Jerry. Let's have the music. Over the waves are the loveliest night of the year.
You now have $105.
Here's your last chance to beat the other couples. How much will you bet? They have $105.
$100.
Okay, here you go.
$100. Give me the title of this song, Mr. F.
Out upon the Swanee River.
You wind up with $205.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Put it there, Jerry.
Well, just before we went on the air, Groucho, our studio audience selected a first sergeant from the United States Army, James Schmidt. His partner is a friend of his, Miss Sue Henson. Folks, come on in here and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, kids, for the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day. Sergeant Schmidt and Miss...
Sue Hanson.
Sue Hanson, huh? I suppose I should get military. At ease, Sergeant. At ease, babe. Sergeant, I'll just call you Jimmy, huh? James? Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's good enough.
I'd rather you didn't look quite so belligerent. Where are you from, Mr. S.?
San Francisco, California.
And what's your hometown?
Kansas City,
Sue?
Missouri.
Kansas City, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Do you yearn for KC anymore?
No, not at all.
You prefer California?
Yes, I
How
like
old
it.
are you, Sue?
25.
And Sergeant, how old are you?
24.
24. Well, you're outranked. How long have you been in the Army?
10 years.
10 years you've been in the Army?
Yeah.
Were you a drummer boy originally? I can't help but notice all the bars and stripes and ribbons. Could you tell us what all that stands for?
Yeah, the Combat Infantry badge with a star in it, silver star, bronze star with a cluster, purple heart with a cluster, and then just the regular campaign ribbons.
Quite a hero, huh? Where did you get all those things? You must have been in the last war, huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of leaving the Army and running for president? Other people have that in mind, Jimmy. I understand you're a friend of the sergeant here, Sue. Is that right? How good a friend are you, Sue?
Well, we're engaged.
You contemplate matrimony with this gent here?
Those are my plans.
Have you consulted the sergeant?
Well, he's agreeable, I think.
Well, he might be agreeable, but does he want to get married? Now, you're a first sergeant. What else do they call you?
Top sergeant or top kick.
I've heard of top sergeants. They're supposed to be the toughest men in the Army, aren't they? So, what do you call him when you're alone, Sarge or Top Kick?
I don't call him Top Kick or Sarge.
What do you call him?
Well,
I know, it's kind of...
Honey Pot?
Honey Pot? Honey Pot, is this true? Answer in the name of Ulysses S. Grant.
I guess it is.
Those dames, they whittle everybody down to their size. Do you like it when she calls you Honey Pot, Sarge?
I guess I do.
Attention, all privates in Sergeant Schmidt's company. He wants you to call him Honey Pot. That's an order. Over and out. Roger, Sam. Do I sound like Captain Video? Sarge, let's find out about your job. For example, what do you actually do?
Well, I'm the immediate representative of the company commander. I tell the men what the captain want them to do.
And do you tell the captain what the men want him to do? In other words, you're the boss man, huh? And if a man doesn't do his job right, you fire him. Is that right?
There's no such thing as firing in the Army.
And why do they have all those guns and bullets? Well, what are some of your duties specifically?
Well, I maintain the duty roster and see that all the details are shared equally.
Well, that's a pretty responsible job. Are you sure that all the men share alike in the work details?
Yes, they're all shared alike.
Well, for example, when they're painting the barracks, does the general wield a brush like the other men?
No.
And you call that sharing the work, eh? Can't you ask the captain to fire the general?
Captains don't fire generals.
That's not true. I know an ex-artillery captain from Missouri who fired a general. Of course, he was a very democratic fellow. But... How many men do you have in your company?
Roughly 800. It's a post-operating company.
Roughly 800, huh?
Yeah.
What do you mean by a post-operating company? You operate on the post there?
No, we handle all the administrative functions on post and give logistical support to the ROTC and ORC units in Southern California.
You didn't get a Purple Heart for that. How'd you get the Purple Heart?
That's a while back.
Well, tell us about it. I'm sure the audience would be interested in that.
Well, the first time was in Sicily, at jail of Sicily, and then the second time was in Hamhung, North Korea.
It's always that way. The bigger the hero they are, the more modest they are. Well, Sarge, I imagine you must have had some strange experiences in the service. Can you think of any that you could tell?
Well, I never had any strange ones. I had kind of an embarrassing one, though. When I first went in the Army, I was kind of a big guy, and we were over in North Africa getting ready to go to Sicily. Well, I was a corporal at the time. I was 14. So my mom wrote a letter to the old man, and she
What do you mean the old man? Your father?
No, the company commander.
The CO, huh?
Yeah. So,
who was the old man, remember?
Geez, I forgot his name.
It's just as well, I guess.
Well, anyway, she wanted me to come home. Thought I was not old enough to be over there.
Well, that's absurd. You were 14.
So it kind of got out in the company, and, being a squad leader, and I had told everybody I was 20, why, it was kind of embarrassing when they found out.
And what did the CO do? Did he holler when he heard about it?
Well, he didn't like it.
That's the understatement of the week, I think. Have you any idea, Sue, what your life would be like if you were married a first sergeant? For example, Sarge, what time do you start to work in the morning?
Well, I generally get up about 5 and fall out for reveille at 5:30.
Why don't you get up the same as everybody else, huh? Don't you ever hurt yourself falling out in the morning? Would you be willing to get up at 5 in the morning, 5:30, and make coffee for a sergeant here?
Well, I thought perhaps I could make it the night before, and then he could warm it up in the morning.
How do you like it? They're not even married yet, and she's figured out how they're going to make the coffee. Sarge, my advice is after you're married, go over the hill. By the time you get home, she'll make it hot for you. Well, you're a charming couple, and I wish you both the best of luck, and I hope you wind up as a general and eventually run for president. Now you're going to play your bet your life for a chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question. If you run your $20 into more than our other couples, I can't tell you how much you have to win, but George is going to remind our listeners.
The housewife and the railroad cook lead with $277.
And here we go. This is Famous Lovers of Fact and Fiction. Now you have $20. Here's your first question. How much will you bet?
$19.99.
$19.99. That's right. She's a very cautious girl and wants a nest egg, that's all. All right, here we go. Prince Albert was proposed to by a famous queen. What was her name?
think real hard.
Talk it over, and if you don't know, make a guess.
Prince Albert. Huh?
Prince Albert.
Prince Albert was proposed to by a famous queen. What was her name?
Not Elizabeth. Josephine.
Oh, I'm sorry. Queen Victoria.
Victoria.
Gee, you have 1 cent.
That's really better.
You going to bet all of it? All right, remember you're going for $1,500 tonight. You're going to bet the whole cent. On your second question. Roxanne was loved by a long-nosed swordsman and a poet. They made a movie about her. What was his name?
Cyrano de Bergerac.
Cyrano de Bergerac.
You now have 2 cents.
Gentlemen, keep your 2 cents out of this, will you? Here's your third question. How much of the 2 cents are you going to risk?
All of it.
All of it? Elizabeth Barrett was in love with a famous poet. What was his name?
Browning.
Browning is right.
You now have 4 cents.
Now you got 4 cents. Now, how much are you going to bet?
All of it.
All of it. She's real bright. The first one was just confusion. I think she had stage fright. You're going to bet the whole 4 cents. In the ballad, Frankie shot her lover. What was his name?
Johnny.
Johnny is right.
Well, I wind up with 8 cents.
I can figure that out, too, but I'm as sharp as you are. Well, we'll give you one more question. Answer it correctly, and we'll see that you don't leave here with less than $25. You've got 8 cents, so this question is for $24 and $24.92. Think hard now, and please no help in the audience. What kind of fruit grows on a cherry tree?
Cherries.
Cherries is right. Put it there, Sue. Put it there, Sarge.
Well, you wound up with 8 cents, so that means that the housewife and the railroad cook with $277 in just 1 minute get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question. Thank you.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers. Now let's learn more about the spectacular new DeSoto Fire Dome 8.
It's here, the exciting new DeSoto Fire Dome 8 with power steering, one of the most remarkable advancements in automobile history. Power steering takes almost all the effort out of turning the wheels. Imagine, 1 finger, yes, 1 finger is all it takes to turn the wheels, even when the car is at a standstill. In parking your car, you've never known anything to compare with DeSoto Power Steering. With no more effort than it takes you to dial a phone, you can turn the wheels and glide comfortably into the tightest parking space. And out on the highway, DeSoto Power Steering makes your control of the car easier, with less road shock. No matter how bad the road, DeSoto Power Steering helps you hold a true and steady course, and with practically no effort on your part. DeSoto Power Steering. Never has there been a more brilliant advance in making it easier, safer for everyone to handle a car. See the brilliant new DeSoto with power steering, the 160-horsepower Fire Dome V8 engine, and other great features. It's now at your DeSoto Plymouth dealers. And now here's the housewife and the railroad cook, all set for the $1,500 DeSoto Plymouth question, Groucho.
Now, we would go for $1,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help in the audience. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. One of the well-known countries of the world is divided into 2 parts by 1,000 miles of another country. For $1,500, what country is geographically split into 2 separate parts? Talk it over. You got 15 seconds. Well, of course you can guess.
Russia?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The correct answer is Pakistan. It is divided by 1,000 miles of the Republic of India territory. So that means the big question next week will be worth $2,000. Well, you lost the big money, but you won quite a lot in the quiz. How much?
$277
well,
in the quiz.
It's not too bad. Congratulations and thanks to both of you and to all of our contestants on the show tonight.
Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $2,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also presented by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember, all dealers who sell DeSoto also sell Plymouth. 2 great cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, see the DeSoto Fire Dome 8 tomorrow.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Look out for the driver who doesn't look out for you. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell. Directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jerry Fielding. This is George Fenneman signing off for the more than 3,000 DeSoto Plymouth dealers from coast to coast.
In. Oh, George, we've got company.
This is Bill Goodwin, speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap that's pure as fine Castiles. Well, it's Tuesday night again, time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, our guest, Eddie Cantor, Jimmy Cash, Felix Mills and his orchestra, and the Swantet. Now, meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Well, it's early evening, and George is just stopping in at the corner cigar store on his way home from the office.
Evening, Joe. I'll take a half a dozen cigars, please.
Sure thing, Mr. Burns. Usual kind?
Sure, I wouldn't smoke anything but Perfecto Royales. Here's your money, Joe.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Burns, but the price on Perfecto Royales has gone up.
What, again?
I'm afraid so. From now on, you get only 2 for a nickel.
Okay, here's another dime. Great little cigar, this. Got a light, Joe?
Look, Mr. Burns, I've asked you a few times. Please don't smoke them things in here. They smell up the place something awful.
Okay, I kind of like the aroma myself.
Well, George Burns.
Eddie Cantor. Hi, Eddie.
Well, George, so this is the place you buy those secret weapons you smoke.
Eddie, please, these happen to be very fine cigars.
Oh, sure. You walk through Los Angeles smoking those things, and a poor innocent rubber factory gets all the blame.
Not true. Here, just try one of them.
No, thanks. I can't smoke that stuff. Let's have my own brand, Joe. There's a quarter.
Thank you, Mr. Cantor. Here's your 10 cigars.
They've gone up again, huh?
Well, so we both smoke Perfecto Royales.
I guess so. What makes them smell like that when you smoke them, Joe?
I use very cheap matches.
Oh. Well, how's everything, George? Is Gracie okay?
Oh, sure. How is the sextet from Cantor?
Fine. I'm a bachelor these days, you know. Ida took the girls on a little trip to the Mojave Desert.
It's hot and dusty, and there's nothing out there but an army camp. Ida must be crazy to take the girls to the Mojave Desert.
George, Ida knows what she's been doing. Those boys haven't seen a girl for 6 months.
Boy, you're really anxious to get those girls married, aren't you?
Are you kidding? If a man will marry one of them, I'll throw in another one as a cook. Well, I'll see you later, George. I'm starving. I'm going over to the restaurant and get myself some dinner.
Restaurant? Oh, no, Eddie. You come home and have dinner with me.
Oh, George, I wouldn't think of it. Food is a problem these days.
Don't be silly. Gracie's a wonderful manager. Our icebox is loaded.
No, thanks, George, but I wouldn't dream of it.
Now, Eddie.
No, George, really.
But I'm sure that
Positively no, George.
Well, okay.
George, don't give up like that. Argue with me.
You mean you will come?
Certainly, I can be handled.
Well, swell, let's go. Gracie will be tickled to see you.
Good, I'll be glad.
Put the packages right on the sofa, Bill.
Okay, Gracie.
Oh, it was awfully sweet of you to give me a lift home from downtown. My goodness, I was surprised when a car drove up and a man whistled at me and it turned out to be you.
Not half as surprised as I was, Gracie, when it turned out to be you.
Well, I'd ask you to stay to dinner, Bill, but I haven't a bit of food in the house.
No food at all?
Mm-mm. But George will probably stop on the way home and pick up something.
Yeah, maybe.
Hello, darling.
Hello, sweetheart.
Well, hiya, George. Well, hi, Eddie.
Look, Gracie, I've got a surprise for you, dear. I brought Eddie Cantor home for dinner.
Oh, George, we couldn't need an old friend.
No. I brought Eddie home to enjoy one of your home-cooked meals.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah, those restaurants are getting me down. The owner of one place even told me to get out and never come back.
Why do you do that?
I offended the health. You see, the waiter spilled hot soup in my lap, and when I carelessly jumped up, some of it splashed on the busboy.
Well, your worries are over, Eddie. We'll give you a real feed tonight, won't we, Gracie?
Oh, sure. George, can I see you in the kitchen a minute?
Okay, sweetheart.
George Burns, are you out of your mind?
Huh?
There's not a bit of food in this house, and you bring home Eddie Cantor, who eats like a horse.
He doesn't eat so much.
Oh, no, he's so full of food that his eyes pop out.
Now, take it easy, honey. If there's nothing in the house, just slip over to the market and buy something.
Well, I'd be glad to if you'll just slip over to Washington and get some ration stamps from Mrs. Rosell.
Gee, are they all gone?
Well, yes. And even if we had points, our butcher wouldn't have any meat. He's completely out of it.
Well, he must have something.
You think so, huh? Well, what did we eat last night?
Oxtails?
There you are. He's come to the end of the ox.
We must have some canned food. What's in the pantry?
Cobwebs.
Wait, I've got it. Bill Goodwin is a single guy, and he eats out a lot. Maybe he can spare some ration for Stan.
Well, ask him. He's in there talking to Eddie.
No, Eddie, no.
Oh, but Bill.
No, Eddie, I'm sorry.
But they're so beautiful, and you can have your pick of any of the 5.
Bill, can I see you in the kitchen?
Just a minute, George. Now, Bill.
No, Eddie, why don't you talk to Harry Von Zell?
Oh, that Von Zell. I invited him to my house for dinner, left him alone with my daughters, turned the lights down low.
Yeah?
He told them about Ipana.
Oh, that stupid man.
You said it. I'll bet you wouldn't do that, huh, Bill?
Well, of course not. I'd tell him about Swan soap.
Oh,
well, sure. I'd tell him that Swan's the new white floating soap that's 4 soaps in one. The soap for your hands and face, for bathing the baby, for dishes, and for light laundry. 4 swell soaps in one.
Bill, can I see you for a second?
Just a minute, George. Look, Bill. You're alone with a girl. The lights are low. You put your arms around her waist. Draw her close. Pucker up your lips.
Yeah?
Is that any time to tell her about soap?
You know, you're right, Eddie. That's the time for action.
Sure.
So I take her out to the kitchen and show her how Swan works. Yes, sir, I'll show her what a job it does on dishes and how it gives you loads of suds. And I'll remind her that with Swan in the dishpan, you don't have to worry about your hands. Swan helps keep them from getting rough and red.
Bill, please, in the kitchen. It's very important.
Take him. That guy's got so much soap on the brain, he'll wind up marrying a bubble dancer.
No, sir, only if her bubble is from Swan soap.
Oh, scram, get out of here.
Well, gee whiz, Swan is a great wartime buy.
Come on, Bill. Look, Bill, we're in a jam. Have you got any ration stamps?
Well, I'm sorry, George. I'd like to help you, but I'm all out.
Well, that's funny. You never eat at home.
Well, no, Gracie, but you see, I buy a lot of food as an investment.
You make money with it?
Well, who's talking about money? Today, girls fall for my applesauce faster when it's in a can. So long, George.
He was a big help. Now what do we do?
Well, look, Eddie has a large family. He should have some extra stamps.
Yeah, but gee, he's our guest. We can't ask him for stamps.
No, but I've got an idea. Come on. Oh, well, Eddie, how's Ida?
Oh, she's fine, thanks. She and the girls went down to the desert, you know.
Oh, they took their ration books with them, of course.
No. As a matter of fact, I have them right here in my pocket.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Eddie, it's awfully warm in here. Wouldn't you like to take your coat off?
No, I'm quite comfortable.
Oh, come on. Let George hang it up for you.
Well, if you insist.
All right, here's his coat, dear. You know what to do. We like people to feel at home here, Eddie. Of course, I wouldn't ask a stranger to take his coat off, but you're different.
You mean I'm more like one of the family?
No, I mean you don't embarrass George. Your shoulders come off with your coat just like his do.
Gracie.
Yes, dear?
Not bad.
Oh. Eddie?
Yes?
Are you sure Ida didn't take the books with her?
You mean the ration books?
Yes.
Oh, positive. They're right here in my pants pocket.
Oh. Eddie, it's awfully warm in here. Wouldn't you like to...
Oh, no.
Our young tenor Jimmy Cash and the selection, this lovely ballad that revives memories of the great showboat, Make Believe.
The game of just supposing is the sweetest game I know. Our dreams are more romantic than the world we see. And if the things we dream about don't happen to be so, that's just an unimportant technicality. We could make believe I love you, only make believe that you love me. Others find peace of mind in pretending. Couldn't you, couldn't I, couldn't we make believe our lips are blending in a phantom kiss, or to our dreams might it well make believe I love you.
George and Gracie found they couldn't get Eddie Cantor's ration books, they went back into the kitchen, where they're now trying desperately to dream up a dinner.
Oh, George, this is terrible. I simply haven't got a thing for him to eat.
Well, don't give up, sweetheart. Isn't there anything cold in the icebox?
Well, yes, there is. But do you think ice cubes are nourishing?
I guess not.
Oh, I know. We'll set the clocks back, give him a glass of orange juice, and tell him we eat a late breakfast.
It wouldn't work even if we had orange juice. Gracie, look around while I go in and keep Eddie from getting suspicious.
All right, dear.
Well, Eddie, the home cooking is on the way. Are you getting hungry?
Hungry? George, under my belt is the only vacancy in Los Angeles.
We'll take care of that, kid.
George, I know I'm a fool for asking this, a dreamer with my head in the clouds, but is there a candy bar in the house?
Sorry, Eddie.
I knew it. Do you remember the old days when you could step up to a counter and say to the clerk, give me a candy bar, and he'd say with or without nuts?
Yeah.
Now you say, give me a candy bar, and he just says nuts.
Well, take it easy. We'll be eating soon.
Oh, getting hungry Eddie?
Yeah, Gracie, there's an awful gnawing in my stomach.
Say, maybe it's your appendix. Oh, instead of having dinner, wouldn't you rather go to a hospital?
Gracie, my appendix is out. I had it taken out 8 years ago.
Oh, really? Well, do you think you should eat a heavy meal so soon after your operation?
There's nothing wrong with me. I could eat nails.
Oh, George, why didn't we think of that?
You know, it's always a kick being with you two at that. It brings back the days when we were in vaudeville together and how different those days were.
Yeah.
Why, there were times where we didn't know where our next meal was coming from.
Seems like old times, doesn't it?
Remember the night when there wasn't any food and we ate the parrot in the bird act?
It was a big green parrot like the one Miss Pringle has next door.
Pringle has a parrot?
Yes.
I'll be right back.
George Burns, come back here.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll get back to my cooking. You entertain Eddie.
Getting hungry, Eddie?
Look, was there anything left on your breakfast table this morning?
Nothing but the morning newspaper.
Well, let me have it. If there isn't a picture of Hitler in it, I'll eat it.
Eddie, I promise you that...
George, come into the kitchen.
Excuse me. Well?
Well, our troubles are over. I found 2 cans of shrimp in the broom closet.
Gee, that's wonderful. Will it be enough?
Oh, certainly. We'll have shrimp cocktail, cream of shrimp soup, shrimp salad, fried shrimp, and rhubarb pie.
Rhubarb pie?
Yeah, but don't be surprised if it tastes like shrimp.
Okay, I'll get started. I'll run and give Eddie the good news. Well, cheer up, kid. We'll be eating in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Don't shake it, George. Just bring it to me.
Well, you'll be glad you waited when you get that delicious home-cooked food.
I hope Gracie didn't bother with a lot of fancy stuff. You know, I'm the sort of a guy who can eat anything.
Well, good.
In fact, there's only one thing I can't eat.
One thing?
Just one.
Shrimp?
How did you know?
I'll be right back. Hold the shrimp, Gracie. He can't eat it.
Well, you stay here. I've got an idea that can't fail. Eddie, a terrible thing happened.
What, Gracie?
The gas company just turned off our gas.
Turn off your gas? Why?
Well, George gambled away the gas money.
No.
Yes. He's weak, Eddie. Gambling is in his blood. Every month he takes the gas money and either rolls pool or shoots horses.
George does that?
Yes, and the stove is covered with chicken and steaks and chops, all for you. But there's no gas to cook them with.
I don't suppose you'd serve them raw.
Oh, my goodness, no.
You and your civilization. Well, there's only one thing for me to do.
Go to a restaurant, huh?
No, I'll call the gas company and tell them I'll pay the bill myself.
Oh, you get some pretty silly ideas, don't you?
I'll call them right now.
Yeah, oh, never mind. The gas just came on again. I can smell it. Oh, George, my idea didn't work. You go out and stall for a while.
Okay. Getting hungry, Eddie?
You miserable heel.
Huh?
Gracie told me how you gambled away the gas money, and that's why we haven't got any dinner.
Oh, is that what Gracie...
Yes, shame on you, George.
Yeah, I'm just a big louse.
Why, gambling is the worst vice a man can have. Gambling is vicious. It's low. It's mean.
Yeah, I know. I always lose, too.
You lose?
Always.
You never win?
Never.
George, it just happens that I have a pair of dice here in my pocket. Let's discuss this further on our knees.
Okay.
Time for Felix Mills, his orchestra, and the Swantet, with a vivid sketch of that menacing moll, that fat with the gat known as...
Pistol Packin' Mama.
Yes.
Listen to the story of a red-haired gal named Peg. She shot a pistol in the air
and hit me in the leg.
I lay that pistol down, babe. to make that pistol
Well, it looks like Eddie Cantor is finally going to get something to eat. Gracie's girlfriend, Tootsie Sagwell, has just arrived with her ration book.
Gracie, I rushed over as soon as you called me. Here's my ration book.
Oh, thank you, Tootsie.
That's all right, Gracie. I'm only sorry there are no points in it.
No points? Well, what happened to them, Tootsie? You had 100 points yesterday.
Well, you know the arrangement I have with my butcher.
Oh, you mean where he gives you a kiss for each extra point you give him?
Well, this morning I bought some hamburger for 2 points and just kissed her ass goodbye.
Well, now we're really sunk. I better go and install Eddie again.
All right, dear.
Getting hungry, Eddie?
Getting, he says. I could eat the black keys right off of that piano.
You could?
Well, not right away. I want to let the white ones digest first.
Gee, I'm sorry about the delay, Eddie. Maybe I shouldn't have invited you up here tonight.
Oh, don't be silly, George. It's a pleasure to eat with you and Gracie. The word eat, of course, I use very, very loosely.
Yes, I understand.
But at least you and Gracie don't want me to put anybody in pictures.
What do you mean?
Well, since I became a movie producer, everywhere I go, they drag out the cook, the dog, the kid, and ask me to give them a job.
And you don't like that?
I hate it. It's the most disgusting. When that happens, I get right up and leave.
Even if you're invited to dinner?
Absolutely.
I'll be right back. Gracie, I've got a wonderful idea.
Now who did you invite to dinner? Edward Arnold?
No. Eddie Cantor is a movie producer now. And it's your chance to get Tootsie here in the picture.
Me?
Sure.
Sure, Daddy. It's a wonderful idea. Come on, Tootsie. Oh, Ronnie. Eddie. Eddie, I've got a marvelous surprise for you. This is Miss Tootsie Sagwell.
Well, bring me a knife and fork, huh?
No. Eddie, you don't understand. Tootsie's the new Shirley Temple.
Oh, no.
Oh, she'll be wonderful for your new picture. She's a magnificent dramatic actress. Cry, Tootsie. You see?
Please, I would like a bowl of soup.
Well, look, dinner will be served right after you sign Tootsie for your picture, and not a minute before.
Bring me a fountain pen.
Oh, Mr. Cantor, you're wonderful.
Eddie, they're harming you. Why don't you walk out?
I'm too weak to walk.
Here's the pen.
Wait a minute. Not so fast. I know why you're putting this sweet, innocent girl in the picture. You're a wolf.
I'm a wolf?
You are? Oh, shame on you, Eddie Cantor. And you with 5 puppies.
She's right.
If you hire Tootsie, you have to hire her mother as a chaperone.
She's hired. Let's eat.
Oh, I'm going to run home and tell Mother the good news. You won't have to pay Mother a salary, Mr. Cantor. Now and then, just let her squeeze Charles Colford.
At last. Now for the food.
Well, all right. Sit down, everybody. Hungry, Eddie?
Bring it in.
Oh, wait. First, I'll have to light the candles. Got a match there?
No, dear.
Here's a match.
Oh, no, I couldn't take your matches. You're our guest.
Yes, Schmitz. I'll light it myself. There. Well?
George, bring in the food.
Me? You bring it in.
Oh, we've got company. Blow out the candles.
Oh, no.
Come in.
Well, hiya, folks. Oh, excuse me. You're ready to eat dinner. I'll drop back later.
Oh, no,
come in, Bill.
Bill. We're in no hurry to eat.
No, it's all right.
Say, Bill.
Yes.
Bill, Eddie just signed Tootsie Sagwell to a movie contract.
What? Tootsie and Eddie's picture?
Yeah.
Oh, gee, Eddie, I better send you some Swan soap.
What for?
Well, if you're going to be washed up in pictures, I want it to be with Swan. Swan is 4 swell soaps in one. Soap for your dishes, light laundry for bathing the baby, and for your bath or complexion.
Go away. Will you go away?
Well, Eddie, what's the matter? Don't you believe that Swan is 4 soaps in one?
Look, I'll make it 5. Put ketchup on it, and I'll eat it.
Oh, no, I wouldn't advise that, Eddie. But just try Swan for bathing the baby. Swan is pure as fine cast eels. Doctors recommend it because Swan is so mild and gentle, it's kind even to a baby's tender skin. And if Swan is that mild, well, it must be a great complexion soap for grown-ups, too.
Bill, my son, listen to me. I'm not a young man anymore. In fact, I'll never see 30 again. I've lived a long time, and I formed certain habits, some good, some bad, but the habits I can't break. Eating is one of them. Now, will you get out of here?
Well, sure. Why didn't you say you were hungry, Eddie? I'll go.
Oh, Bill, just a minute. Maybe Mr. Cantor will put you in his picture.
Gracie,
Picture? Oh, what an idea. Listen, I'll be the new Charles Boyer. Get this, kid. Ah, Eddie, the Casbah. I used to like the Casbah. Now I like the Swan Bar. Breaks in two. Use half in the kitchen for the dishes and light laundry, and half in the bathroom for the shower. Eddie, I love. Well, there's your leading man, Eddie. You can start shooting any time.
If I only had a gun.
Well, listen, we'll sign the contract later. Got to break this news to Luella Parsons.
Now? Now can we eat?
Well, I light the candles. Got a match there.
No, I haven't.
I'll light them. There. Well?
Oh, it's the telephone. Blow out the candles, George.
It's murder!
Hello? Who? Oh, yes, he's here. Eddie, it's for you.
Carry me over to the telephone.
Here's the
phone.
Hello? Oh, hello, Ida. Gee, I'm glad you're back. Yes, I'll be right home. George and Gracie invited me to stay for dinner, but I'd rather have something to eat. See you in a minute, Ida. Goodbye.
Wait a minute, Eddie, now that you're going, I might as well tell you the truth. We haven't got a bit of food in the house.
What? That's right, Eddie. You kind of caught us with our points down.
Well, why didn't you tell me? Get your hats and come on home with me. Our icebox is always loaded.
Oh, we couldn't do that.
Come on, Ida. Be tickled to see you. You know Ida. When Ida was... Hello, Ida.
Eddie, darling.
Look who's here.
Why, George, Gracie, I'm so glad to see you.
I invited them over here for dinner.
Eddie, I'd like to see you in the kitchen for a minute.
Come on, dear. The shrimp is still in the broom closet.
Well, George and Gracie will be back in a second, and I'm just going to stay here long enough to remind you gals that your good lingerie, your best stockings, and your fine woolen things must really last a long time nowadays. So better give them the best care you can. And to me, that means washing them with Swan, the new white floating soap. Swan is so mild and gentle, it'll give your fine things the kind of washing that avoids unnecessary wear and tear. Look, it stands to reason that if Swan's kind to a baby's skin, it's going to be kind to fabrics, too. And incidentally, kind to your hands while you're doing your light laundry. Swan's a swell buy any time, a great buy in wartime. Well, here they are again, America's lovable Mr. and Mrs. George and Gracie.
Hurry up, Gracie. Hurry up and lock the door. I'm hungry for that shrimp.
All right, dear. The key is here in my purse somewhere. There's a compact, a lipstick. Well, look what's here.
What?
A book full of racing stamps. I forgot I had them.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in to your CBS station again next week, same time, when we'll have as our guest Pat O'Brien. Remember, George Burns and Gracie Allen, CBS next Tuesday night. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
Know what they're all saying?
Your ration points go farther, go further, go farther. Your ration points go farther, further when you're cooking with fries.
Yes, ma'am. Spry's the buy.
For fried food, cake, and pie, it's gotta be Spry. It's so easy to remember, and oh, what a buy. Just tell your grocer, I want Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Amos and Andy Show. A full half hour of entertainment with all the Amos and Andy characters, plus Bud Gruskin and his orchestra, and those famous Delta Rhythm Boys. look in on the home of Mr. and Mrs. George Stevens, better known as the Kingfish and Sapphire. The time is noon. All morning, Sapphire has been cleaning up the house, and as the clock reaches the noon hour, she is about to go in and perform her most difficult and unpleasant job of the day.
George is here. Time to get up. I'll tickle him behind the ear with my finger.
Oh, flies. Get away, flies.
Georgie, dear, open your eyes. I'll run my fingers through his hair.
Don't cut it too short. Just use the clippers on the side.
George, get up. Well, I'll give him the ice water treatment. Where's that pitcher? How do you like this, George Stevens?
Coney Island. The water's fine. Come on in, everybody. I tell you, end of my way threw me out of the house this morning, and I was sick all night long.
Was you very sick?
Oh, must have been, because I perspired so much. When I woke up, my nightgown, the whole bed soaking wet. Must have been a cold sweat, too. There was some ice cubes in bed.
Well, I'll tell you something, Kingfish. I can't understand women.
I wish somebody would explain them to me. Sapphire told me again today my association with you is the cause of everything.
Well, Sadie Simpson.
Yeah, what you doing here, Sadie?
Just on my way home. Been shopping in department stores all day. Is my dog barking?
Tell me this, Sadie. Is it true that business has fallen off in the stores right now?
I don't know. Something happened. Because them salespeople is getting polite about a minute.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing. I asked one of them a question, and you know what? She answered it.
Let me sit down here and rest my feet. My puppies is really barking and yelping with it.
Yeah. Them feet of yours ain't holding up no junior miss, you know.
What you talking about? I want you to know that I stepped on a scale in front of a store today, and the scale read 136.
Now, wait a minute. 130.
Who said I had both feet on there?
Hey, tell me this. What do you really weigh, Sadie?
Well, I did get on the scale with both feet, and I dropped a penny in, and a little card come out.
Yeah, what did it say?
I looked at it, and it said on the card, "Ay, ay, ay."
Well, Sadie, did you hear the news? The Kingfish and Sapphire is at it again.
Kingfish, I just finished talking to your wife, and that's why I stopped by here. When I left her, she was getting ready to write her mama about the way you was acting.
Write her mama? That's a fine thing. If my papa could see how Sapphire treats me, he'd turn over in his grave. If he could see how she nags at me, he'd turn over in his grave. If he could hear how she always hollering at me, he'd turn over in his grave.
What's the old man buried in, a revolving door?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It must be some way that they can get themselves straightened out.
Look at here. I got an idea.
Uh-huh.
There's a radio program on there that straightens out married couples that have an argument. The man that does it is named John J. McGuire. Why don't you and Sapphire get on the radio and let the man straighten you all out?
Oh, that's a great idea, yeah. Say, I'll get Sapphire to go on that program with me.
Yeah, that's good. Tell me, Sadie, this program that helps with married life, do the advice straighten out married couples?
Oh, sure. I know a couple that's been back 5 times.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Court of Marital Troubles continues. We present our next case, Mr. and Mrs. George Stevens.
Oh, that's us, Johnny. Come on, Sapphire.
Well, Mrs. Stevens?
It's all her fault, Johnny. She always nagging.
Just a minute. Let's let Mrs. Stevens speak first.
No.
Go ahead, Mrs. Stevens. What is your marital problem?
Mr. McGuire, my husband is lazy. He's a loafer. He sleeps all the time, and he won't get a job. I can't get him to go to work.
I'm busy working all the time.
Well, maybe your trouble is a financial one. Now, Mr. Stevens, tell me, how much money is left on your weekly paycheck after the government deducts its withholding tax?
After the government, when they start doing that?
You say you have quite a few arguments?
Yeah, but she's just like a mama. She argues all the time.
Ah, now we're getting to the root of it. How soon after your marriage did your mother-in-law come to live with you?
Well, I don't remember exactly, but I'm the only groom in the world that ever carried 2 women over the threshold. I know that.
That's not true, Mr. McGuire.
Your Honor, the man that said 3 on the match is bad luck ought to try 3 on the honeymoon once. And speaking of honeymoon, I never will forget, the hotel was crowded, so my wife and the mother slept at Niagara Falls and I slept in Toronto.
Mr. Stevens, your wife seems to blame you for this unhappiness in your household.
That's a prefabrication. That's her fault. That's all her fault.
George Stevens, you're nothing but a low-down...
No names, please.
No names on it.
Mr. Stevens, I personally think that when it comes to being charming, you are decidedly inept.
I am not inept. I just left as the next guy even after. That's what I am.
And another thing, he associates with a bum called Andy Brown, and he's getting more like Andy every day.
I is not. I'll never be the bum that he is.
I'm awfully sorry, but our radio time is up now. Mr. and Mrs. Stevens, the sponsor of the Court of Marital Troubles, wishes me to present you with their product, this large-sized bottle of Supreme Aspirin. It's free. Here is a year's supply.
Yeah, well, the way my wife nags at me, that'll be gone in a week.
Well, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Stevens. And now, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, Sapphire, let's get out of here.
I'm going to tell you something.
If I had a glass of water, I'd take 2 or 3 of these Supreme Aspirins right now.
George, I done reached the end of my rope.
Well, now, wait a minute.
I done stood all I can stand. George, this is the end.
Oh, honey.
I ain't fooling. George, I'm going home. I'm going to pack my things, and I'm going back to Mama. I'm through.
Oh, honey. Now, listen, Sapphire. Can't we talk it over? Let's talk it over before you tell me you're through. Why can't we sit together and figure whether this is the right thing to do? I hate the thought of spending nights all alone, missing the thrill of nights that we've known. Can't we talk it over before it's over? Before you whisper goodbye forever, let's talk it over, dear.
Now listen, George. We were so in love the day love started. Who would think that we would soon be parted?
I just can't believe it's true, Sapphire, dear. I make this appeal to you. Can't we talk it over? Let's talk it over before you tell me you're through. Can't we sit together and figure out whether this is the right thing to do? I hate the thought of spending nights all alone, missing the thrill of nights that we've known. Can't we talk it over, baby, before it's over? Before you whisper goodbye forever, let's talk it over, dear. I tell you, Henry, me and my wife ain't getting along at all.
Well, none of us married couples has our little difficulties. Now, my wife has the distinction of possessing a rare combination. She's got a strong will and a stronger left jab.
You got a little of it, too, huh?
Oh, yes. You know, I myself was forced to take out personal household collision insurance.
Sure enough.
And frankly, we just finished one of our little tete-a-tetes, and I don't feel any too strong.
Yeah, you want an aspirin, Henry? I got 5 left.
Well, what seems to be your marital conglomeration, Kingfish?
Well, my wife blames me blames all of it on my association with Andy.
Mm-hmm.
So I done promised her that I'm going to break up with Andy. And that's what I'm waiting for now.
Well, if you've got to lose a friend, Andy's a good one to lose, as I know of.
Oh, I'm going to tell him cold turkey that I don't want to see him no more, don't want to be with him, I don't want to talk to him, just bust him up.
Well, Andrew Brown.
Just a stranger I want to see.
Kingfish, I done been to see my lawyer. I'm going to sue you up one side and down the other. I heard that radio program last night. You said I was a bum. And my lawyer say I can sue you on the grounds of information of character.
Now, wait a minute, Andy. How can you do a thing like that to a pal? I just telling Henry here, of all the people in the world that I love, want to be friends with, it's you. Yeah, we got to be lifelong buddies.
So why'd you call me a bum? Oh, my lawyer tells me I can get you for slander. I can get you for libel. I'm taking you to court, Kingfish.
Well, now, just a minute. There must be some illegitimate way of settling this out of court. You know, Andy, suing the Kingfish for what he's got doesn't promise very much.
Yeah, suing me ain't gonna help you none, old pal. Partner deal, lifelong friend.
But I want to clear the good name of Andrew H. Brown.
Clear your good name. You better get yourself a bottle of ink remover, go down to the police station and pour it on the records if you won't clear yourself.
Calling me a bum. That's fringing on my character. That's personal.
I'm calling you a bum. You can't sue me for that. That information's in public domain. Don't tell me what.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Now, calling me a bum stand on a corner is one thing. But it's something else when you say it on the radio and I get to be a nationwide bum.
Well, now, listen. That program that you was on, Kingfish, is only local. The information is only broadcast here in the community where we live.
Yeah, that's right, Andy.
Oh, well, that's all right then. The only people that hear that is my friends around here, huh?
Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing nationwide about you. You was a local bum. Yeah.
Yeah, well, now, that put a different angle on the thing.
Well, I'm glad to know your difficulties are straightened out. I'll see you later. Goodbye, boys.
So long, so long. Andy, ain't no use tell you about it, but my wife's liable to leave me.
Well, ain't it something that you can do, buddy?
Yeah, I wish I could get some help somewhere.
Well, hiya, Shorty.
Come in, Shorty.
Well, look who's... I'm glad to see you. But what's cooking? Hiya, boys.
Shorty, something is going to happen. The Kingfish's wife is going to leave him.
Oh, congratulations, Kingfish.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Shorty. She nags at me. She argues with me. She beats me. But I don't want her to leave me.
She beats you, and you don't want her to leave? Kingfish, you ought to be psychoalkalized.
No, I tell you, Shorty, I was really worried about her leaving him.
You know something? I was engaged to a gal once, and we were splitting her. And then she sent me a book for me to read so I would understand the woman's side of it.
What was the name of the book?
Miracles with Mink.
Did you give her some fur?
Oh, yeah. I sent her a first scarf.
Mink?
No.
Leopard?
No.
Bobcat?
Close. Alley.
Well, the Kingfish don't know what to do to keep his wife from leaving him, Shorty.
Yeah, well, Kingfish, you ought to send your wife flowers.
Flowers? But, Shorty, she's still living.
Oh, Kingfish, what you talking about? You got it all wrong. A husband don't have to wait till his wife is dead to send her flowers.
He don't, huh?
Oh, no. You can send them to her when she's sick in the hospital.
Shorty, you has got an idea. I'm going to take her some flowers. I'll take her candy, too. I'll take her both of them at the same time. Oh, let's see. How can I get that money now? Well, I'll get that money some way, though.
After that, you won't have a worry in the world.
Well, there is one little thing that worries me, Shorty. My pal Andy here is mad with me because I said something about him on the radio.
Oh, who listens to the radio? Nobody will hear that. That'll never be heard by a soul.
Oh, good. So long, Shorty.
So long, Kingfish.
So long, Shorty.
So long, bum.
Well, here's the flowers and candy. It cost me $2.75. Leave I'll hide them behind the sofa and then get her to come in the parlor, and then I'll surprise her with them. Yeah, I'll put them right back here. Oh, Sapphire, dear.
Oh, hello, George. I didn't know you was home.
Honey, I got a surprise for you.
George, what happened to that $2.06 I had hid in the sugar bowl?
Oh, well,
George, you got a guilty look on your face, and I know you took it. That money was to buy food for tonight's supper. If you spent it for anything else...
Oh, no, honey, no. That's just what I spent it for, food for the night's supper.
Oh. Well, what is we going to have for supper, George?
Chocolate chrysanthemum souffle. Well, come in, Gabby. Where you been?
Yeah, ain't seen you for a couple of days.
Oh, hello, Kingfish. Hi, Bum. Been on jury duty, boys. Jury duty. I've been on quite a jury, too. 11 women, and I was the only man.
11 women, and you was the only man, huh?
Yeah, we was locked up all day.
Yeah. How'd you like that jury duty, Gabby?
Lovely.
While you and the 11 women was locked up there, how did you decide the case?
Is that what we supposed to do in there?
Yeah.
Listen, Gabby, the Kingfish and his wife are fighting again.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Sure, I'm sorry to hear that.
Gabby, in your law work, you has done had a lot of experience with this kind of stuff. What is the best way for a husband and wife to keep from fighting?
Well, one thing, Kingfish, tell your wife that when she gets mad at you, count up to 10. Just count up to 10, that's all.
You think that'll do it, huh?
Oh, you'll be perfectly safe.
I will, huh?
Yeah, but when she gets to 11, duck.
Say, Gabby, look here. I gotta have happiness at home. My wife is at me all the time. How can we be happy?
Not but one way to handle it, Kingfish. Not but one way. You has got to be the master of the house, the complete master.
Sure enough.
When a man goes in the cage with the lions, them lions can't know that he's scared of them. He's got to be the master. And you got to go home and be the master of your house. Speak right up, just like a lion tamer.
Yeah, I'll go home like a lion tamer. I'll be the master. I'll let her know who's boss.
Yeah, this might turn the trick.
Gabby, this might do it. And if your suggestion works out, she might love me and never let me out of her sight again. What would you think of that?
Love? No, ain't nothing love about that. No.
Sapphire, come here a minute. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
George, is you sick?
I want you to know from now on that I is the master of this house. I is the lion tamer of this cage. And from now on, I want you, now wait a minute, honey. Now wait a minute. Put that face down, honey. Don't do that.
Ha, ha, ha. Silly boy.
Necessity, that most unnecessary thing, necessity. What throws the monkey racing? A fellow's good intention. That nasty old invention. Necessity. My feet wanna dance in the sun. My head wants to rest in the shade. The Lord says go out and have fun. But the landlord says your rent ain't paid. Necessity. It's plain to see. What a lovely old world this silly old world could be. But man, it's all in a mess. Account of necessity. Account of necessity, account of necessity. The jail would never been there, except for folks who send back. Well, how did I get in there? Necessity, necessity. My feet wanna dance in the sun, my head wants to rest in the shade. The Lord says, go out and have fun. But the landlord says, your rent ain't paid. Necessity, necessity, that's the maximum, that's a minimum thing to be. But man, it's all in a mess, I must confess. There's nothing more than less unless.
Well, the answer is that one word I've been telling you about, and that is necessity.
Necessity.
Well, come in, Kingfish.
Yeah, hi, Kingfish. How did that lion tamer stuff come out with you?
Well, let me sit down here, boys. My head is still throbbing from being the master. Yeah, I'd like to see Clyde Beatty go in my house one.
Yeah.
Andy was telling me about this master stuff that you was going to try. Tell me this, Kingfish. What happened when you started that stuff? Well, you cracked me with a veer. Oh, I've been subconscious for the last 6 hours.
That'll do it, all right. What's your next move?
Well, boys, I've been thinking the thing over, so I went to my wife. I got her in the room, and I ever come up with my subconscious stuff. I say to her, I say, Sapphire, come here, I want to have a talk with you.
Yeah.
So we done had a heart-to-heart talk. We sit there on the side of the bed, and she herself is done worked out a plan.
Yeah?
Well, what is the plan, Kingfish?
Yeah, what is the plan?
She told me to go ahead for a few days, just like I was a single man, and see how I like that. She even told me to go ahead, call up some girl, take her out to supper. She said that might learn me to appreciate her. Well, I has heard of these marital vacations, Might be a good idea, and you'll care. Well, good luck to you. I'm going to get on home, take my wife to a picture show. So long.
So long, so long.
He's going to take his wife to a picture show. He ain't got no fight in him at all, is it?
Nah. Well, tell me this, Kingfish. What is you going to do about this marriage vacation?
Oh, I'm going to do exactly what my wife said do. I'm going to call up a girl. She told me to do it.
No fooling. Who you going to call?
Yeah, I went down in the basement in my trunk, and I got out my little black book that I used to have, and here it is. Let's look in here. Wait a minute here now.
Yeah.
Oh, here, one right here. Enda, she is something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember how she used to smile. One of the prettiest girls in town. Well, here I go, son. Oh, boy, this marital vacation is something, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe she got a friend. I could use a vacation, too, you know.
Yeah. Oh, this is the best idea Sapphire ever had.
Hello?
Could I, speak to Trixie?
Speak to who?
Trixie.
Trixie. Oh, yes. Hey, Mama.
That's all. I got to hang this thing up here.
Yeah, what happened, Kingfish? Who answered the phone?
Her baby. Yeah, but, Brother Ender, as long as I got a marriage vacation, I might as well enjoy it. Yeah, here's another gal in the book here. Look here, under the S's.
Yeah?
Yeah, Cynthia. I'll dial that one too. Here I go.
If her baby answers this one and it's a girl, find out how old she is.
Hello?
Hello, Cynthia.
Yes?
Cynthia, this is an old friend of yours, George Stevens.
George Stevens. George. Not stupid Stevens.
Yep, that's me. Yeah.
Well, for goodness sake. Yes, Stoop, I remember you with all that butcher hair. Do you still cut your hair in the middle?
Yeah, but the part is about 4 inches wider now.
Well, I still remember the last time I saw you, Stoop. You took me home and we were standing on the porch, and the last thing you said to me was that you would phone me. That was 19 years ago.
Well, Cynthia, I've been awfully busy, honey. And the reason I phoned you is because I had something to ask you.
Well, what is it, Stoop?
How about me and you having supper together tonight just the way we used to?
The way we used to? I'm sorry, Stoop. I just can't afford it. Goodbye.
How'd you come out, Kingfish?
Oh, she done develop into a tightwad, just as she is.
You gonna try some more?
Oh, this marriage vacation ain't nothing, Anna. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Well, listen, Kingfish, I've been thinking about your trouble, and I talked to a friend of mine. He told me the name of a man, Professor Hotchkiss. He say he really does a great job in straightening out married couples' trouble.
Jonah?
Yeah, I got his name. Here it is right here on this piece of paper. Say here, write to Professor John Hotchkiss. And there's the post office box in Harlem. And I put down there, your marriage trouble solved.
Ender, you give me an idea. Thank you, pal.
It's awful nice having you for supper tonight, Andy.
Well, thank you, Sapphire.
Yeah. Wonderful supper, too, honey.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
Boy, there sure is a lot of happiness in this household.
Oh, yeah, it's been this way for 2-3 days, Andy.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, my bride here has been so sweet, I guess it kind of reflected in me.
Well, I learned one thing in the last few days, and that is to be a little tolerant to the one you married to. To just take him the way he is and try to apply the golden rule.
How'd you happen to find that out?
Well, I'm going to make a little confession and tell you a secret.
A secret?
A few nights ago, George, I went through the pockets of your trousers, and I found a note saying to write to Professor Hotchkiss to get advice on marriage trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote him, and he wrote me the advice. So that little piece of paper I found in your pocket is my secret.
Well, I'm going to tell you a secret. I put that note in my pants pocket when I went to bed that night because I knew you'd find it there.
I'm going to tell you both a secret.
What's that, Andy?
I is the one that wrote you that letter. I is Professor Hotchkiss.
Nicaragua is a beautiful town. You buy a hacienda for a few pesos down. You give it to the lady you are trying to win. But doesn't let you come in. Nicaragua is a Nicaragua. Reach for a legal embrace. He answers you, caramba, scramble, bamborito. In Manila, Nicaragua, that's so. I have been to many tropic ports. I might include even Brooklyn. If you ever feeling out of sorts, I'd like to recommend a look in Managua, Nicaragua, what a wonderful spot. There's coffee and bananas and a temperature hot. So take a trip in on a ship, go sailing away across the agua to Managua, Nicaragua, ole. Managua, Nicaragua is a town you'll adore. A kiss from Senorita has you pleading for more. Before you take the second one, you've got to look for. Her papa leads you out by the nose. Managua, Nicaragua is really the top. You buy a big sombrero from a neighborhood shop, and then the girls will follow you like in a parade. Because they want to walk in the shade. You can feast on enchiladas all the day long, provided that the stomach is especially strong. So take a trip and on a ship go sailing away. Across the agua to Managua, Nicaragua. Across the agua to Managua, Nicaragua.
Come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. It's time once again for Eve Arden in another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks, written by Al Lewis. Well, they say that absence makes the heart grow fonder. And if that's the case, Connie Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, should feel a bit more hopeful about her bashful biologist, Philip Boynton.
Yes, Mr. Boynton left town last Monday for a biologist convention upstate. And by Friday, I was confident that absence did make the heart grow fonder. The only trouble was it was this little English teacher's heart which was doing the growing fonder of. Mrs. Davis, my landlady, was discussing the absent one with me at breakfast Friday morning.
Have you heard from Mr. Boynton at all since he's left, Connie?
Oh, of course, Mrs. Davis. I heard from him yesterday. He just poured his heart out to me.
Really, dear? What did he say?
Lift up the sugar bowl, his postcard's underneath it.
A postcard? Let's see that. Having wonderful time. Glad I am here. Then he says, no more for now.
Writer's cramp must have set in. That's just his subtle way of informing me that he's too busy to write me a letter. But he won't be gone too much longer.
Well, I think you're foolish to sit around and twiddle your thumbs while he is gone. After all, there are other fish in the sea.
Yes, but on my salary, it's a little tough to make the bait as attractive as it should be. Although Mr. LeBlanche did ask me for a date last Monday evening.
Mr. LeBlanche, the French teacher?
That's right.
Why, he's charming, Connie, and so handsome. Did you accept?
Of course not, Mrs. Davis. I'd just seen Mr. Boynton off on the train.
Well, the next time Mr. LeBlanche asked you to go out with him, I think you should go. Why, when I was your age, if a man with his looks asked me out, I jumped at the chance.
When I was your age, I'll jump, too. I'll get another chance to go out with Mr. LeBlanc. He's been very attentive all week. In fact, he asked me to get to school early this morning so he could talk to me for a few minutes before class.
Oh, he did?
Yes, I told Walter Denton about it yesterday, and he said he'd pick me up in plenty of time this morning. That's what I like, a kid who keeps his promises. Come in, Walter. I left the latch off for him.
Hiya, Miss Brooks, Mrs. Davis. Well, breakfast isn't finished yet, I see.
Not like it's going to be when you sit down.
Pull up a chair, dear. Any news from Mr. Boynton since yesterday's postcard?
No, Walter.
He wasn't kidding when he said no more for now. Oh, well, you won't be lonesome. Not with Mr. LeBlanc around.
Mr. LeBlanc? That's the second time his name has popped up in the last 5 minutes.
Did you say popped up, Connie?
Yes, why?
I knew there was something I'd forgotten. I put 2 slices of bread in the toastmaster over an hour ago. I'll be back as soon as I make a few extra slices.
We'll be leaving soon, Mrs. Davis. Don't make too many.
Or too few.
Now then, Walter, what's all this about Mr. LeBlanc and me?
Well, if you ask me, there's something pretty continental going on inside that handsome head of his.
Well, he had been rather attentive since Mr. Boynton left, but that could be common courtesy.
Courtesy nothing. That's continental. I can tell by the way he talks to you, Miss Brooks, the way he uses his native language.
What do you mean, Walter? Mr. LeBlanc talks to me only in English.
He may talk to you in English, but he looks at you in French.
Well, if he does, I don't understand it. But Mr. LeBlanc does lapse into his native tongue occasionally. And just between us, Walter, I can't understand one word of it. You see, when I went to school, I studied much more Spanish than French for some reason.
But what was the reason?
A Spanish teacher named Jose Gonzalez. Of course, I wouldn't want Mr. LeBlanc to think I didn't know what he was talking about.
Well, don't let that bother you, Miss Brooks. Harriet Conklin's a whiz at French. She can interpret anything that you don't understand. Of course, she's a little young to interpret the way Mr. LeBlanc looks at you.
I wish you'd stop auditioning your sinuses, Walter.
Well, look, Miss Brooks, I'm not trying to be fresh. You know that. But both Harriet and myself feel that it's about time Mr. Boynton was made to feel that he shouldn't feel so sure of you.
How does that go again?
Don't you see, when he comes back, if there's a lot of buzz about how you went out with Mr. LeBlanc while he was gone, maybe Mr. Boynton will leave the ranks of the Walking Dead and make his move.
Well, it has been tried before.
The plotting to capture one's mate is an age-old story, Miss Brooks. Why, if they were truthful about it, 95% of all the men ever born would have to say to their women, "You made me love you. I didn't want to do it."
From the picture Jolson sings again. Of course, Mr. LeBlanc is an extremely attractive person.
Sure he is. And there's nothing to it, Miss Brooks. All you got to remember when you see Mr. LeBlanc at school is the 3 little letters O-U-I.
O-U-I. Fine. The next time Mr. LeBlanc asks me for a date, this little piggy will go wee, wee, wee all the way home. Da 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 da. Do entree.
Good morning, Miss Brooks. I hope I do not interrupt something.
Oh, not at all, Mr. LeBlanc. I was just combing my cactus.
Pardon?
This little plant on my desk here.
Oh.
One of my pupils gave it to me. It was quite a surprise the way he gave it to me, too. He hid it on my chair. Won't you sit down?
Oh, merci, mademoiselle.
What did you want to talk to me about, Mr. LeBlanc?
Well, Miss Brooks, beautiful Miss Brooks. For some time now, I felt that you are... as I look on you, Miss Brooks, I feel that you're not only a lovely to look at person, but one who... Miss Brooks, are you listening to me?
You lost me after beautiful.
I know that we have not spent too much time in the company of each.
That's very true.
However, what I wish to say is something that I do not too easily find the words to do it. And so I have taken the liberty of writing it down in this note.
A note?
Oui. It is written in my native language, Miss Brooks. This still comes to me faster than English. You can read French, of course.
Of course.
Right. Then please do.
Let's see. Ma chère Miss Brooks. Ça me semble que nous allons... Pouvez-vous me faire...
Well, Miss Brooks?
Well, from what I gather here, it's pretty obvious that I'll need some time to think this thing over.
Well, as you say, Miss Brooks, I suggest we meet in the school cafeteria at lunchtime.
Fine.
Then, until we meet again, j'essaierai contrôler mes émotions. Je ne serai pas un petit gosse.
Oh, I don't know. I think the Dodgers still have a chance. Next year.
Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, will continue in just a moment. But first, here is Vern Smith. Now, proof that brushing teeth right after eating with Colgate Dental Cream helps stop tooth decay before it starts. Continuous research, hundreds of case histories, makes this the most conclusive proof in all dentifrice research on tooth decay. Eminent dental authorities supervise hundreds of college men and women for over 2 years. One group always brushed their teeth with Colgate right after eating. The other followed their usual dental care. The group using Colgate Dental Cream as directed, using Colgate's exclusively, showed a startling reduction in average number of cavities, far less tooth decay. The other group developed new cavities at a much higher rate. No other dentifrice offers proof of these results. Modern research indicates decay is caused by mouth acids, which are at their worst after meals or snacks. When you brush your teeth with Colgate right after eating, you help remove acids before they can harm enamel. Yes, Colgate contains all the necessary ingredients, including an exclusive patented ingredient for effective daily dental care. And remember, Colgate cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. Always use Colgate Dental Cream right after eating to help prevent new cavities, help stop tooth decay before it starts.
Well, when lunch period rolled around, I hastened toward the cafeteria, hoping to find Harriet Conklin so I could get a translation of Mr. LeBlanche's note. As I passed the office of our beloved principal, however, Mr. Conklin stopped me with one of his typically warm and cordial greetings.
Halt, Miss Brooks.
Crap. I was just hurrying to lunch, Mr. Conklin.
You usually are. I just want a moment of your time. I noticed this morning that Mr. LeBlanche stepped into your room for a few moments. And although I've never been a hearty advocate of faculty fraternization, in this instance I think it's splendid that LeBlanche is making friends with someone. He's rather an aloof chap.
No aloofer than some others I know. He's quite a nice person, though.
I'm sure he is. But to get to the point, Miss Brooks, I have a used car in my garage that Mr. LeBlanche said he wanted to buy a few days ago. However, since that time he's been rather evasive. Although I hate to part with the car, it seems a shame not to consummate this deal once I've become adjusted to the idea. The more so since I was convinced that I had Mr. LeBlanche on the hook. Interested.
What kind of a car is it, Mr. Conklin?
It's sort of a composite, Miss Brooks. Stutz motor, I believe. Quite old, of course, but it'll make fine transportation. Runs like a charm.
Then why do you want to sell it?
I can't afford all the repair bills. That is to say, I bought a new used car about 6 months ago, and the price they offered me on a trade-in was so ridiculous, I decided to sell it privately.
Oh.
Frankly, I was amazed at the rapidly declining interest in the Stutz automobile. Hence, I'm willing to part with it for a measly $50. I'd feel selfish about holding on to it.
I see what you mean, Mr. Conklin. Why should you let that beautiful car rot in your garage when some lucky fellow could be pushing it all over town?
Miss Brooks, I am not a man to shilly-shally. I'd take it as a personal favor if you encourage Mr. LeBlanche to go through with this deal.
Oh, but Mr. Conklin,
And thanks for whatever effort you put forth in this matter. Good day.
Good day, and thank you, honest Osgood.
Hi, Miss Brooks. Are you going to have lunch with the fabulous Frenchman?
Eventually, Walter, but first I'd like Harriet Conklin to translate this note he gave me. He says he writes better in his native language.
Note, huh? Oh, we're making progress, all right. Let's see it. I've had 3 terms of French.
You've had 3 terms of first-term French. I'd better wait for Harriet.
Please, Miss Brooks, hurry, it might be late. You don't want to let Mr. LeBlanche cool his heels in the cafeteria, do you?
Why not? Eating lunch with hot heels is very uncomfortable.
Now, Give me the note, Miss Brooks. If it's not too tough, maybe I can translate it. Ça me semble que nous avons un bien amitié. Oh, sure. This is simple, Miss Brooks. It merely says that he thinks you're wonderful and that he has long worshipped you from afar.
What?
And that now he cannot stay away another moment, but must have a date with you at once.
Well.
I knew it, Miss Brooks. He's stuck on you. Now, go on into that cafeteria and give him a quick wee.
I'll go as quickly as I possibly can. See you later, Walter.
Now we're getting someplace. Wait till Mr. Boynton comes back.
Pardon me, Walter, but how long have you been standing here alone, cackling?
Oh, hi, Harriet. I just translated a French note that Mr. LeBlanc gave Miss Brooks, and oh, gosh, I forgot to give her back the note.
No? But, Walter, you can hardly understand a word of French, even after 3 terms.
Oh, that's all right. Neither can Miss Brooks. She was in love with a Spanish teacher named Gonzalez when she was a kid. And that's why it was so easy for me to translate for her. All I had to do was make a guess at it.
A guess?
Sure. Well, what would a Frenchman put in a note to a woman? It's got to be about l'amour toujours.
Mr. LeBlanc is a romantic figure, all right. I'll bet he writes a beautiful love letter. Here, let me read it, Walter.
Okay. Now, what does it say?
It says, Dear Miss Brooks, as there is no other member of the faculty who can help me at this time, I must ask a favor.
It doesn't sound very romantic so far.
Well, quiet, Walter. Listen to this. I have promised to buy our principal's car, but due to a most mortifying shortage of finances, I must borrow $50 immediately if I am to keep my word. Can you lend it to me? Anxiously, Paul LeBlanc.
How do you like that guy? He's not wooing her. He's biting her.
I'm sorry to be late, Mr. LeBlanc, but I had to catch up on a little reading.
Oh, sit down, mademoiselle. As always, you look charming. And now then, about my notes. What is your answer?
The answer? Oh, by all means, oui.
You mean it?
Of course.
Oh, how marvelous. You are an angel, a dream girl, a dream girl.
I'm also a luster cream girl. But I don't see why you should get so excited about it. After all, under similar circumstances, I've said yes before, you know.
You have?
Oh, dozens of times.
You must be a teacher a long time to be able to act so generously.
Well, don't forget I am also a woman.
Well... you have said yes to me. That is the main thing. Now tell me, Miss Brooks, when can I pick it up?
Pick it up? That's a quaint figure of speech. You can pick me up at 7:30 this evening.
Oh, I was hoping I would not have to wait that long.
Oh, you impetuous Frenchman, you.
Ain't I? I suppose I am. After all, it takes a little while even to receive aid from the Marshall Plan.
Oh, that's a good one. What am I laughing at?
You better think of something mighty fast, Walter. It was your meddling that got Miss Brooks into this mess.
I know it, Harriet. And I know how embarrassed she'll be when she finds out that all Mr. LeBlanc wants is to borrow $50 from her.
Oh, I wish we could think of some way to get her out of it. But Daddy's been trying to unload that heap of his for 6 months, and he's never had a better offer. Gee, it's after 7
Oh, wait a minute, Harriet. Say that again.
It's after 7
Oh, not that. The part about the better offer. Oh, never mind. Skip it. Harriet, if you'll excuse me now, I got to get to a phone. I may not save Miss Brooks any embarrassment, but I just got to save her $50.
You look absolutely lovely, Connie. I'm sure Mr. LeBlanc will be enchanted with you from the moment he arrives.
Oh, it's nice of you to say so, Mrs. Davis.
And now, if you don't mind, I'll stay here in my room for the rest of the evening.
Oh, I don't mind. In fact, I'll close the door for you.
Thanks, dear. Have a nice time.
Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. I'll be right there, Mr. LeBlanc.
Don't break your neck. It's not Mr. LeBlanc.
Well, Mr. Conklin, this is an unexpected intrusion. A pleasure. Come in.
Thank you. Well, you are a super salesman, Miss Brooks.
I am?
I don't know what you told LeBlanche in the cafeteria today, but it certainly nailed him down. He asked me to meet him here tonight to close the deal on that jalop, that bargain I'm selling him.
He asked you to meet him here? Oh, now, isn't that cute? He probably wants to take me for a ride. Did you bring it with you?
Yes. I towed it over. Now, I've got the ownership papers right here, and as soon as Mr. LeBlanc...
Oh, I'll get it. Welcome, Mr. LeBlanc. Come on in.
Oh, good evening, Miss Brooks. Well, alone at last, eh?
Yes, indeed. You'll be alone in no time. I'm a man that likes to do business fast. Here are the ownership papers, LeBlanc. Take them.
Oh, thank you, sir. But first,
You're getting a great buy tonight, LeBlanc, isn't he, Miss Brooks?
Oh, a dilly.
Think of it. Just $50 for a car that's only been driven 129,000 careful miles.
By its original 12 owners.
Please, Mr. Conklin, if you will wait one moment for me, I must speak with Miss Brooks alone. Will you come into the kitchen with me, Miss Brooks?
The kitchen? But...
Go ahead, Miss Brooks. I'll wait right here in the living room. Probably needs a little more reassurance. Go to it.
What am I, a teacher or a used car dealer?
Well, Miss Brooks, the time has come. Now we can get together, eh?
In the kitchen?
I did not want to mention it in front of Mr. Conklin, but as I stated in my note, Miss Brooks, I will be very grateful if you will lend me the $50 immediately.
$50?
Yes. After you read my notes, that is the 50 you said we too.
So that's what I said we too. Where'd I get my hands on that Walter Denton?
Denton? I don't understand.
No, neither did he. Him and his first-term French. Look, Mr. LeBlanc, I'll try to break this to you as gently as possible. About the $50.
Oui?
No, not exactly. In French, what's the opposite of oui?
No.
That's it. I non got it.
Miss Brooks, you say no?
Oui, non.
But I assure Monsieur Conklin that the $50... Oh, I see it all now, Miss Brooks. You're joking.
No, I'm not, ho-ho.
But, Miss Brooks, after our meeting in the cafeteria, I thought...
I know you did, but it was all a misunderstanding, Mr. LeBlanc. I'd lend you the money in a minute if I had it, but I haven't. Honestly, I haven't. I'll show you what's in my bank. I'll even let you hold it up to your ear and rattle it.
Well, naturally, Miss Brooks, I'm quite disappointed. But if it is, as you say, all a misunderstanding, perhaps I'd better return these ownership papers to Monsieur Conklin.
The quicker, the better. After all, the evening is young yet, which is more than I can say for the car.
Yes, I understand perfectly. Goodbye, sir, and thank you. Oh, I took the liberty of answering your phone, Miss Brooks. As it happened, the call was for me. I left word at home where I could be reached. Now then, Mr. LeBlanc...
Allow me to speak first, sir. I am certain that your car is every bit as wonderful...
Just a moment. Miss Brooks, would you step into the kitchen with me, please?
Why not? I sort of missed the old place. Excuse us, Mr. LeBlanc.
Miss Brooks, now that I've already given LeBlanc the ownership papers, the minute he hands me $50, the deal is official. You've got to help me talk him out of it.
Talk him out of it? You mean you don't want him?
That call I just received was from a Mr. Horace Winthrop. He saw my car parked outside the house, and he offered me $150 for it.
$150?
He told me the minute he saw it, he went out of his mind about it.
That boy needs shock treatment.
Now, I realize you have a way with Mr. LeBlanc. You can succeed in changing his mind. Hence, a proposition. If you can coax him out of buying my car, I'll split the $100 profit with you.
Oh, but Mr. Conklin,
As evidence of my good faith, I'm willing to pay you in advance. I just happen to have the cash on me, Miss Brooks. 20, 40, 50. Miss Brooks, there's $50 on top of that stove. In cold cash.
What do you want me to do, heat it?
Don't spar, Miss Brooks. I promised I'd meet Mr. Winthrop in 15 minutes. If you don't act quick, it may be...
Pardon the intrusion, Mr. Conklin, but I could have returned home if you would only let me
Miss
stay.
Brooks wishes to have a little chat with you, my boy.
But, sir...
I'll wait for you in the living room.
Why won't he let me tell him I can't buy his car? He is only delaying my embarrassment.
Mr. LeBlanc, there's not going to be any embarrassment.
I don't understand. Oh, now I do. You and that sense of humor.
Huh?
On the stove, my $50.
Oh, now, just a minute. That isn't...
Oh, Mr. Conklin. Yes, Mr. Conklin. I have your $50.
He certainly has.
Congratulate me. I am now the proud owner of a Stutz.
Please, my repair bill.
Miss Brooks, you failed. Give me back my money.
Patience, Mr. Conklin, patience. Mr. LeBlanc, I forbid this sale. Give him back the 50, Mr. Conklin. Give it to him.
Oh, of course. Here you are, LeBlanc.
But Miss Brooks,
There's something you ought to know about that car, Mr. LeBlanc. You can't get it started no matter how hard you crank it. Its battery is dead, its spark plugs are dragging, and its rear end doesn't spark.
May we? Plus which, I think it only fair to tell you that the wheels are out of line. It has no radiator, no clutch, and no brakes.
Well, Monsieur Conklin, I have come to the conclusion that I do not want your car.
Gad, what a bitter pill to swallow. Well, I've got to be running along now. Can I drop you somewhere, Mr. LeBlanc?
Oh, you are too kind.
No, he's only one kind. But it's still early, Mr. LeBlanc. Isn't there something you'd like to do?
Well, now that you mention it, Miss Brooks, there is. I know of a used car lot not far from here with $50. Oh, if you would drop me there, Mr. Conklin, something might catch my fancy.
Very well. Come along, my boy.
Good night, Miss Brooks.
Good night, my fancy.
And thank you for you-know-what.
You're welcome, for no, I don't. The last time I saw Paris...
What happened, Connie? Did I hear Mr. LeBlanc leave?
Yes, you did, Mrs. Davis.
But it's only 8:15. Where did he go?
He went to a used car lot. But don't worry about him, Mrs. Davis. He should feel right at home there.
What do you mean, Connie?
Most of their motors aren't running either.
Our Miss Brooks returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight? Yes, tonight. Show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Luster Cream, world's finest shampoo. No other shampoo in the world gives Kay Duma's magic blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Not a soap, not a liquid. Luster Cream shampoo leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen, soft, manageable. Even in hardest water, Luster Cream lathers instantly. No special rinse needed after a Luster Cream shampoo. So gentle, Luster Cream is wonderful even for children's hair. Tonight? Yes, tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is our Miss Brooks.
Well, 5 minutes later, while I was looking in the French dictionary for the translation to why did I bother in the first place, the telephone rang. Hello?
Hi, Miss Brooks. It's me, Walter Denton.
Oh, it's you, Walter.
Now, please, Miss Brooks, I know you got a right to be mad at me, but you got to give me a chance to explain. I would have come over in person, but I wanted to wait until Mr. Conklin had left. He's gone, isn't he?
Yes, Walter, everybody's gone.
Good. You see, the only way I could stop Mr. LeBlanc from putting the bite on you for $50 was to make sure that Mr. Conklin got a better offer for his car from somebody else. So I called a few minutes ago and offered Mr. Conklin $150.
What?
Sure. I told him I was a Horace T. Winthrop.
You certainly are. You were a little late, Walter. Mr. LeBlanc has already bitten me for $50.
You mean you had $50, Miss Brooks?
Well, Mr. Conklin gave it to me, Walter. It was my commission for talking Mr. LeBlanc out of buying his car so that Mr. Winthrop could... But now there is no Mr. Winthrop, and Mr. Conklin will certainly want his... Oh, what's the use? If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. In hoc signo veritas disputantem.
What does that mean, Miss Brooks?
That's Latin for I should have stood in Nogales with Jose Gonzalez.
Next week, tune in to another Our Miss Brooks show brought to you by Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair, and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, directed by Al Lewis, with music by Wilbur Hatch.
Men, here is actual factual proof of more comfortable, actually smoother shaves by using Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. 1,251 men tried the Palmolive Lather way to shave described on the tube. And no matter how they had shaved before, 3 out of 4 got more comfortable, actually smoother shaves. Try Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream. See if you don't get more comfortable, actually smoother shaves the Palmolive Lather Shaving Cream way.
For mystery liberally sprinkled with laughs, listen to Mr. and Mrs. North, Tuesday evening over most of these same stations. And be with us again next week at the same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
From Hollywood, the Raleigh Cigarette Program, starring Red Skelton, with Ozzie Nelson and his music, Harriet Hilliard and Wonderful Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, remember this about cigarettes. All your smoking enjoyment depends on the tobacco blend. That's what makes the big difference. And that's where Raleighs are distinctively outstanding. Raleighs give you an exclusive gold and rich blend, superior from every standpoint. For instance, only the lighter golden tobaccos are used. Tobaccos that any expert will tell you are choicer, more expensive. And where 2 or 3 kinds of tobaccos might be good enough for some cigarettes, Raleighs have no less than 31 different types of choice domestic and imported tobaccos, each adding immeasurably in making Raleighs richer in taste, fuller in flavor. Yes, Raleighs excel where it counts most, in the tobacco blend. And don't forget, Raleighs give you an extra, valuable coupons, redeemable for over 70 luxury premiums. Friends, it pays to get the pack with a coupon on the back. Raleigh Cigarettes. Version of the old favorite Camptown Races. And now, we bring you Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's brand new comedy find, the star of our show, Red Skelton.
Thank you very much, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Say, Truman, I thought I'd never make it here tonight. I had a little trouble with my car.
Really? Well, what happened to your car, Red?
Well, it started to choke, so I patted it on the back, and it coughed up a pedestrian.
Say, Red, I hear you've just started another picture out of MGM.
Yeah.
Isn't Eleanor Powell the star in it?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun on the set, too.
Sure
She's
enough.
teaching me how to jitterbug.
Oh, is that what you were doing at the Palladium the other night?
I guess.
Well, from the way you threw your partner around, I thought sure you were going to kill her.
Partner?
Uh-huh.
I thought she was my opponent. Oh, how are you, Harriet?
Hello, Red.
Say, we were just talking about my new picture. I'll take Manila.
Oh, say, do you get to kiss Eleanor Powell in the picture?
I hope so. I'm still puckered up from Lady Be Good. birthday. I'll kiss you, though.
Oh, no, you won't.
Why?
I'm here to say funny things, not kiss them.
Yeah. Hello, folks. Oh, how are you, Ozzy?
Say, I heard you folks talking about pictures.
Yeah.
You know, I made a picture myself.
Say, Red, your picture takes place on a boat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I thought you were allergic to boats.
I am. Gee, I'll never forget the last time I went to Catalina.
What happened? Were you ill?
No, I felt pretty good until some wise guy starts singing shortening bread.
You know, I'll never forget the picture I made.
You know, Red, it must be nice working at MGM. Have you got your own dressing room?
No, I dress on the way to the studio in the Culver City bus.
Now, wait a minute, Red. You dress on the bus?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, ain't it embarrassing?
No, I wear dark glasses.
Say, is Veronica Lake at MGM?
No, I've always had bulgy eyes.
You know, it's funny. That picture I made...
Yeah, well, look, we'll get to it.
Well, you see...
What about it? What was it about, Ozzy?
Well, I don't exactly know because they didn't release it. It was a gangster picture, and they paroled it. Yeah, but I'm not worried about my picture career because the producer's crazy about me.
Oh.
He told me I was going places.
He did?
Yeah, he even bought me a sunsuit to wear there.
Say, Red, why do Fenton and Folsey, the cameraman at Metro, like you so much?
Well, I'm the only one they photographed through cheesecloth.
Oh, well, that's not new. They photographed a lot of people through cheesecloth.
Yeah, but with me, they don't take the cheese out of the cloth. But this picture at MGM is really going to be a biggie. Mr. Brazil, the director, told me it's a must picture.
Well, that makes 2 in a row. You mussed up the last one, too.
Yeah.
Red, who else is in the picture?
Spies. The whole thing's full of spies.
International or finance company?
International, of course. Oh, in one scene, there's a very beautiful blonde spy, and she's in a black evening gown, and she tries to get a secret out of me. Yeah. And she hugs me, and she kisses me, and she hugs me and kisses me. Do you think I tell her the secret? No. Yes, I do. I'm just a big blabbermouth.
Since he joined the army, Johnny sighs and frets. He thinks about his sweetie every chance he gets. He sits and sends her letters till they turn out all the lights. And here's what he's concerned about, and this is what he writes. Dear Arabella, this army life's okay. But Arabella, I miss you more each day. While I'm parading and reducing fore and aft, I hope that your love won't get caught in the draft. Kindly remember, wherever you may be, you're at ease with no one else but me. Dear Arabella, remember I'm your fella and you're mine, oh mine.
Dear Private Johnny, don't worry over me, 'cause Private Johnny, I'm faithful as can be. I keep your picture by the sofa near the fire for me and my boyfriends to sit and admire. They want my kisses, but I am always true. I close my eyes and make believe it's you. So, ducky fella, depend on Arabella, 'cause she's yours, all yours.
Dear Arabella, this army life's okay. But Arabella, here's what happened yesterday. Now, our dumb top sergeant put me in the awkward squad. And I thought that I'd done fine. I won the parade by a half a yard. Then they shouted, fix bayonets. But they couldn't fool me. I said, my bayonet isn't broken. Look and see. Dear Arabella, ain't I one bright fella? Are you mine? Oh, mine.
Dear Private Johnny, you know my love is true. Keep good and healthy, my chief concern is you. Keep muffled up, you catch cold so easily, John. And when autumn winds are chilly, winter draws on. Pa says we can't get married till you can afford a family. There are 6 of us, including Pa and me. So, lucky fella. Be true to Arabella, 'cause you're mine, all mine.
That was Dear Arabella, sung by Harriet Hilliard and Ozzie Nelson. By the way, Harriet, count me out on that drive up to San Francisco Sunday. I'm afraid to drive in so much traffic.
Well, why? You drive carefully, don't you?
Yeah, but when you drive a car nowadays, you have to drive for 5 people.
5?
Yeah. Your car, the car in front of you, the car in the back of you, and the car coming toward you.
Well, where's the 5th one?
She pulls out in front of you any minute.
Oh, now look, Red, I think California drivers are all right.
A tourist, eh? Look, Harriet, to make myself clear, tonight I'm going to show you the different types of drivers that we have in America and the things that the car owners have to put up with. Now, first we have a wise guy who's always picking up girls. Well, girlie, ain't this better than waiting for the Glendale bus?
I don't know, yet.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about me. I'm just a Boy Scout,
Oh, I didn't know they had a skunk patrol.
Yeah.
Say, this is some cars. It got a radio?
No.
Well, supposing you want some La Conga music, what do?
You just don't put oil in the motor. You know I like you, girlie. Come on, let's cuddle up, huh?
No.
Nah, come on.
Take your hands off of me or I'll call a midget.
Say, how do you like riding in this snappy car, boy? Just listen to that motor. Oh, I think we're out of gas. Nope, it's all right now. Gee, you had me worried for a minute. I thought we were going to have to do a little siphon work. Hey, do you want to stop for a bite? I said, do you want to stop for a bite?
Now, wait a minute, Dracula. Look, I'd better get out here.
Why?
Well, I'm one of the 3 little pigs, and my mother told me never to trust a wolf.
Now, I ain't that bad. Look, the girl that gets me will get a bargain.
Yeah, you do look a little cheap.
Yeah. That settles it. Good night and get out. That settles it, brother. I'll never pick up another girl as long as I live. Never, never, as long as I live. Well, girlie, ain't this better than waiting for the Glendale bus? Say, did you ever see at the fail when you have a new car, something always happens to it? So let's look in on a lady and her little boy, a little mean kid on the block. See, and the lady's just driving up with a brand new car. Harriet, you be my mother and I'll be the little boy. Huh?
Okay, Red. Hello, Junior. How do you like our brand new car? Look at all the aluminum on it.
Yeah. Gee, sure is chromy, isn't it? Oh, boy, a new car. Boy, we must be in solid with that Morse plan, huh? Or did Pop steal it? Gee. Can I get in, Mummy? Huh? Can I get in?
No. And if I catch you standing up in the seat or wiping your hands on the upholstery, I'll spank you with a hairbrush.
You will?
Yes.
The Harry Stein?
Now listen, you little corn pone, you know what I mean.
Gee, ain't that a pretty car, huh? Gee, does it go fast like Buck Rogers' rocket ship, huh?
Yes, dear.
Gee, I bet Pop wish he had that when he was a bootlegger. Hey, can I sit in the car, Mom?
No.
No, I want to sit in it. I want to sit in it. Ooh, I want to stand in it. I want to stand.
Oh, all right, get in. But sit still. I'll be right back and drive you all over the neighborhood.
Yeah, with Pop Raider trap.
Oh, no, nothing like that, darling. Now, just be a good little boy.
Okay, Queenie. Gee, ain't these seats soft, huh? Look at that pretty dial. I wonder if that's a radio. Looks like a radio. Maybe it is a radio. I'll turn the dial. It is a radio. Gee, look how big this steering wheel is. Beep, beep. Beep, beep, burp. touch the horn, Mommy.
Be careful now.
No, right. Tattletale. Oh, look. Mommy forgot to take the key out. If I do, I get a whipping. I do it. I got calluses anyhow. I gotta learn to drive sometime, so now let's see, which one's the starter button? Maybe this is it. Where'd the top go? I'll try this one. Oh.
Junior, turn that motor off.
Dad. Mommy, I had gas over get me. Look, the sidewalk is moving, Mommy.
Are you all right?
It all depends on what you're going to do to me.
Oh, dear. Look at our pretty new car.
Ages fast, isn't it? Say, Harry, did you ever see a big old second-hand car puffing down the road and they finally hit a filling station?
Yeah, what do you say? Let's do that one, Red.
Okay.
This isn't a very good car, is it?
I don't know.
Are we moving?
Huh?
Are we moving?
Wet your finger and hold it up.
Gee, this car rides smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
No motor noise. How come?
No motor.
Oh, look at that thermometer there. Boy, the old radiator's really getting hot.
Yeah, I'll say it's getting hot.
There it goes again.
Yeah, it does it every 59 minutes. Old faithful.
Hey, you better pull into that filling station.
Okay. Well, here we are. We finally made it.
Yes, sir. Glad to see you, sir. Which one are you, Wells or Fargo?
Now, wait a minute, Bub.
Welcome to the Monte Carlo filling station.
The Monte Carlo filling station?
Yes, sir. We fill your car, then shoot you for it. Double or nothing. You folks out here for the grape picking season?
No, we're carrot bunchers.
What can I do for you?
You can give me a little air in them tires.
Don't you need no gas?
Nah, come on. Just give me some air.
You sure there's nothing else?
Yeah, what time is it?
Time to give you a membership card. Yeah.
Membership card, huh? Hey, what does this mean, the IWW?
The IWW is a fraternity of motorists who only want information, wind, and water.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do to give you a little business. Give me 3 cents worth of grease.
What's the matter? Are your lips chapped? Shall I check your oil and the upholstery?
Yeah, you better check the oil there, bud.
Do you use the 5-cent oil, or do you want something with the water pumped out of it?
Well, what kind of oil do you use in your car?
Well, I start off by telling them that I is lonesome and that my regular gal don't...
No, I don't mean that kind of oil. Maybe you better give me some gas, about 6 cents worth.
6 cents worth of gas?
Yeah.
What'll I do with it? Put it in the tank or just massage the carburetor with it? What are you trying to do? Wean this car?
Look, I was only trying to be nice. I don't even know whether I need gas or not.
Well, I'll just look in the gas tank and
Okay.
see.
Hey, don't light a match and look in that gas tank. It'll blow up.
Oh, no, it won't. This is a safety match.
Oh, fine.
I'll show you. Gee, it's nice flying around up here. How do I look with wings?
Like the Maltese Falcon. and Rag, played by Ozzie Nelson and his band.
Say, Red.
Yes.
I certainly enjoyed Thanksgiving dinner out at your house.
Well, thanks a lot, Truman.
You certainly have a beautiful place, Red. So many nice things. Gorgeous silverware, radio in every room. And, boy, those were magnificent bridge tables you brought out when we played cards and that handsome poker set.
Well, gee, thanks.
You certainly live the life of Riley.
Certainly. You mean I live the life of Raleigh?
I see, Red. They're all Raleigh premiums, eh?
That's right.
Well, friends, you'd be surprised at the many luxurious things you can get with the coupons that come on the back of Raleigh cigarettes. There are over 70 deluxe premiums. You can get automatic toasters, bridge lamps, smart luggage, candid cameras, electric razors. And that's only a few. Each one is highest quality, nationally advertised merchandise. Now, we have a 60-page catalog which pictures in full color all the Raleigh premiums. It's free. For your copy, just send a postal card to Raleigh in care of the station to which you were listening. And tonight, switch to Raleigh cigarettes. You not only get magnificent premiums, but you get a better cigarette. A smoother, milder, more flavorful cigarette because of Raleigh's exclusive gold and rich tobacco blend. Friends, with your very first pack, you'll realize it pays to smoke Raleigh's. The pack with the coupon on the back. Raleigh cigarettes. And now, back to Red Skelton.
Oh, thanks a lot there, Truman.
Boy, Red, there's a lot of trouble connected with driving a car, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. Do you like those things? Say, I'll tell you where the fun really comes in. Is a guy trying to get his driver's license. What do you say we do that? This time I'll be the fella going in for an application. Oh, say, officer. Where will I find the license bureau?
Well, what kind of a license? Hunting license, fishing license, auto license, vendor license, dog license, marriage, or driver's license?
Windy old bird, isn't he? Well, I want to get some driver's license.
Well, that's right here. Mm-hmm. Your name, please.
What?
Your name?
Name? Oh, name. Oh. Paul Understuff. But for short, my friends call me P.U.
What do your enemies call you?
P.U., but they mean it.
Well, now you'll have to answer a few questions.
All right.
Are you married?
No, I've always had bulgy eyes. Back again, huh?
Now then, do you have any ailments?
Oh, no. All of our family are American citizens.
No, I mean, do you have any insanity in your family?
Oh, yes, we all drive cars, you know.
All right, now. What do you do when you're driving and a man steps out of the safety zone?
I knock him right back in before he gets hurt.
You know, that's very good. I never looked at it that way. All right, now. What does it mean when the light is green and then it turns orange?
It means that there's a cop on the corner laying odds that you don't make it before it turns red.
Okay. Now I've got to give you an intelligence test.
Won't hurt, will it?
No. All you have to do now, cover one eye with your hand.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, just take it easy. You've covered your eye with one hand.
Yep.
Now read that top line.
Over there, huh?
Yeah, right on the wall there.
Oh, P-O-L-I-C-E.
That's right. Now, what does it spell?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
Did you ever have an accident?
No, when I drive down the street, all the other cars climb up on the sidewalk. Get out of my way.
All right, now just one more question. Look, there's a car in the front of you.
Yeah.
There's one in the back of you.
No kidding.
You hear a siren.
Yeah.
Now, do you go faster, stop, or help clear the traffic?
You got me in this mess. Now you get me out of it.
All right, now I'll give you the driving test. You have your car here?
Yep, it's right here, fella. Come on, now, get in. Well, you'll have to step kind of high. That door don't open.
Well, has this here car got brakes?
No, when you want to stop, you just press down on the front fender. Well, you may have to crank it. I don't know.
Well, what happened to the starter button?
Oh, I don't know. I sent the car to the auto laundry, and it came back with the buttons missing.
Hey! Pull over there! Pull over!
Why?
You're driving down the left side of the road.
Well, that's all right. I got my hand out.
On second thought, where is your permit to drive without a license? Come on, where's your permit to drive without a license?
No, wait a minute. Let's not get nosy, Bob.
Turn up this street.
Okay, I'll show you I know all the signals. I hold my hand straight out, and then I turn to the right. Well, look at that. A good humor man with 4 arms.
Why, you dope, that's a railroad crossing. Hey, look out now. Hey, stop. There's a train, and we're both heading for the same crossing.
Yeah, my eyes are the same way.
Wait, stop this thing. Stop it.
Well, don't stand there. Help me put the train back on the track.
This is Truman Bradley again, presenting the gentleman who speaks for our companion sponsor.
Men, in every respect, Sir Walter Raleigh pipe tobacco is a gentleman's smoke. Its pleasing, fragrant aroma makes you a welcome man anywhere. And it's smooth, mild, and mellow, just as you want a tobacco to be. And Sir Walter Raleigh is flavor-packed, rich with a tangy, satisfying taste you can't quite get from any other tobacco. That's because Sir Walter Raleigh is made from a full-bodied blend of the finest burleys obtainable, especially cut for cool, even smoking right down to bowl bottom. Yes, gentlemen, Sir Walter Raleigh is the quality pipe tobacco of America. If you paid $100 a pound, you couldn't buy finer, yet it costs no more than ordinary tobacco. So tonight, get started with the best. Get Sir Walter Raleigh.
Skelton, with Ozzie Nelson, Harriet Hilliard, Wonderful Smith, and your announcer, Truman Bradley. We'll be back at the same time next Tuesday. We hope you'll all be waiting for us. Until then...
This is Red Skelton saying goodbye now, and thanks for listening.
Red Skelton is heard on this program through the courtesy of the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer Studios. This is the Red Network of the National Broadcasting Company.
It's new. It's amazing. It's Prell. P-R-E-L-L. Prell Shampoo. Yes, Procter & Gamble's new Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Prell brings you The Life of Riley. Prell, the shampoo that removes unsightly dandruff, leaves hair radiantly lovely, presents The Life of Riley, with William Bendix as Riley. At first 1513 Blueview Terrace in Los Angeles, California, there stands a small bungalow, sagging slightly, sadly in need of paint, and with a front door that sticks in wet weather. Among the neighbors, this rather grim specimen of California architecture is known as Early Spanish Omelet. But to the occupant, his residence is more charming than a French chateau, more sumptuous than an English castle, cozier than a Swiss chalet. For this is the house of Chester A. Raliegh, and be it ever so humble, to him it spells home.
Be it ever so humble, there's no place like home. Yeah, this looks like a good place to hang it. Yeah. Oh, Dumplin'.
What is it, dear?
Peg, is this a good place to hang this
Riley, what on earth are you doing with that thing?
thing? This is a motto. I just bought it. It's for the wall. Read it.
Home, sweet home.
Ain't it pretty? It was made by a fellow in the hobby department at Alcatraz. All framed and ready to hang.
The fella in Alcatraz?
No, this motto. Stop being so jocular.
Oh, Riley, you're not hanging it in this house. That's the corniest thing I've ever seen.
Peg, there's nothing corny about my home. To me, my home is everything.
I know, dear, but this is so old-fashioned.
Oh, go on. I've seen them in plenty of homes. Only most people hang them up just to cover up a hole in the plaster. But with me, I believe in it. Hey, there's a good spot over the fireplace.
Now, wait a minute, Riley. I won't have it. I tell you, I won't have it. Oh, no.
Well, now you'll have to have it to cover the hole in the plaster.
Oh, I give up.
There. Don't it look beautiful? Ah, home sweet home. They may kick me around down at the plant, but here in my home, I'm the master.
Well, all right, master. Get a broom and clean up that plaster. This house is falling to pieces. I wish we could move.
Move? From our home? Why, we raised our 2 kids under this very roof.
And it leaks.
Junior learned how to walk on this very floor.
Oh, now, Junior was 5 years old when we moved here.
Oh, he was a late walker. This is a great house. It may not be brand new, but it's in a fine neighborhood. They're all decent, hard-working, respectable people. That's important if you want to bring up your kids right. And our kids are going to be brought up right. What's that?
That's a police car.
You see, that's what I mean. Probably on their way to some rough neighborhood to stop a drunken brawl. Suppose we moved into a neighborhood like that. You want to...
Riley, they're stopping in this block.
They are? We never had cops around here before. Some roughneck must have moved in. Well, I'll have him run out of the neighborhood. I'll find out who it is right now. Wish they wouldn't stop right in front of our house. There he is. 2 cops escorting him. A vicious criminal type if I ever see... Holy smoke, it's Junior.
Junior?
Yeah, your son.
Open that door.
Shh. I don't want no trouble. Pretend we don't know him.
What? Have you gone crazy? Junior, dear, what happened? Oh, officer.
Is this your boy, ma'am?
Oh, Junior, why did you do it?
Pop.
You got caught stealing. After all, I taught you.
Oh, stop it, Riley. What's he done, officer?
Well, you see, ma'am.
I didn't do anything.
Please, officer, it's only his first offense. Let him off this time. Please. We'll split the dough 3 ways.
Now, don't get excited, Mr. Riley. Your boy's okay. Except he was a little careless with his pea shooter, aiming at the little girls in the park. Well, we'll let him off with a warning this time.
Oh, thank you, officer.
Yeah, thanks, officer. I'll have a talk with this boy here, and believe me, next time you won't catch him. Goodbye.
Good day.
Pop, come in the house, young man. Pop, don't say a word. So this is the way you turn out, after the fine, respectable way I brung you up. Where did you learn to do such a thing? Who taught you to go around shooting at little girls with a pea shooter?
You did? You said when you and Mr. Gillis were kids,
I only aimed at big girls. Picked them my own size. I mean, dragged home like a criminal.
Now, wait a minute,
Just a common criminal.
Can I be excused, Pop?
Yeah, go to your cell. Dragged home like a common criminal.
Oh, for heaven's sake, will you stop, Riley? Once and for all, will you get it through your head that Junior is not a criminal? He's just a high-spirited boy like every other boy. So what?
Coming home in a police car, a fine thing. I walk home. He has to ride.
Well, he's learned his lesson. It won't happen again.
Believe me, it won't. I'm going to keep an eye on that kid from now on.
Hi, Daddy. Hi, Mother.
Hello, dear.
Hello, Betsy. What's new in college?
Guess what? I got my picture on the front page of the college paper.
No.
Yes.
Do you hear that, Peg?
Well, that's nice, dear.
That's my daughter. I always knew the way I brung her up, she'd do something to make me proud of her. My daughter gets a picture on the front page. The only place your son will get his picture is in the post office.
Oh, Riley, you don't stop, Junior.
Never mind, Babsy. Let me see the picture of you, huh?
Oh, here it is. We're doing a musical review.
Look at that, Peg, right on the front page. And look at that cute costume your costume. Where is it? You forgot to put it on. You're practically... Quick, pull down the shades before somebody sees this picture.
Hey, don't get excited. Those are just my rehearsal clothes.
What are you rehearsing for, a burlesque show?
Riley, stop yelling.
I didn't bring my daughter up to be a fan dancer.
I haven't got a fan.
You could use one. Who got you there?
But all the girls in the chorus wear outfits like that for rehearsal. It's just a play suit.
Well, you're too old to play. No daughter of mine is going to be a chorus girl.
Riley, it's only a college show for the students.
I sent her to college to get an education, not to give one. She's resigning.
No, I won't. Every girl on the campus is dying to be in the show. I just won't.
Oh, so you won't, will you? That's what you think. Peg?
Now, I don't like to contradict you, dear, but in this case, Babs is in the right. You're making a fuss over nothing.
Nothing? You call it nothing when your daughter is running around in nothing? For this I slaved and sacrificed all these years to have a son a gangster and a daughter a burlesque queen? Well, I'm putting a stop to this. I have made up my head. I tell you, Gillis, I feel like resigning as the father of my kids.
I don't blame you. With one a gangster and the other a fan dancer.
My poor little Betsy. She'll probably wind up in burlesque.
No.
No? Oh, well, that's a relief.
No. She just starts in burlesque. Then she sinks lower and lower and lower. Until one day, watch television.
Oh, my poor little girl.
Yeah, but cheer up. You still got your junior.
Yeah, that's right. He'll settle down.
In jail. Yeah, it's tough, Riley, but I'll still stick by you. Anytime you want to borrow my son Egbert for a day, you can have it.
Oh, Gillis. Whose fault is it? Who's to blame?
You.
Me?
Well, who else?
How can you say that? Ain't I slaved all these years to give him every advantage, a decent home?
You ain't got a home, Riley. All you got is a house.
So what's the difference?
Well, I'll show you. Here, take a look at the cover on this here magazine.
Where? Yeah, so what about it?
You see this picture? See what it says?
Home sweet home.
Take a good look at it. What do you see?
It's a cozy living room with a bright fire in the fireplace. And through the window you can see the snow.
Yeah.
There's the father in his easy chair smoking his pipe with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
And there's the mother in the rocking chair, knitting, with a smile on her face.
Yeah.
And there's the daughter playing the piano with a smile on her face.
Yeah.
And there's the son doing his homework with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
And there's the dog curled up on the rug with a smile on his face.
That's a home. But any evening, take a look in your joint, and what do you see? Junior's out with his hoodlums. Babs is out doing a shimmy. Hed's out in the kitchen slaving. You're out on the couch snoring. And the fireplace is filled with empty Pepsi-Cola bottles.
Oh, Gillis, I never realized. No wonder the kids are running wild. There's nothing to keep them home.
Sure, your family's crumbling to pieces. Crumb by crumb.
Well, I'm going to put them together again. We're going to have a real home life, just like in that picture.
It may be too late. They won't listen to you.
They'll listen, all right. They're going to sit around that fireplace until they blister. Okay, now everybody sit down around the fireplace.
Oh, honest, Riley.
Now, Peg, please cooperate. You sit here, Peg.
Riley, I got a tub full of laundry to do.
Peg, I'm surprised at you. You might show a little more interest in your family. Now sit here and knit.
I don't feel like knitting.
All right, then just smile. Come on, now smile.
All right, I'm smiling.
Dad, you sit at the piano.
What piano?
Oh, we haven't got one. Right. Okay, you stay where you are and hum something.
Daddy, I'm supposed to be at rehearsal tonight.
You're staying in tonight and have some fun. Now sit down there and smile. Come on, smile. Show your teeth.
Okay, I'm smiling.
Right. Now, Junior.
Pop, why can't I go to the movies?
Because it's time you found out what it means to have a home life. Now sit down at the table here and do your homework and smile.
I'll do my homework, but I won't smile.
You'll smile if you know what's good for you.
Riley, I know you mean well, but this is
I know
no way
what I'm doing, Peg. This family is going to have a happy home life if it kills me. Well, let's see that picture in that magazine again. Yep, just like it. No, wait a minute. Something's missing. Oh, yeah, the dog. Junior, never mind your homework. Lay down on the rug and curl up.
Riley!
No, well, never mind. Well, now we're all set. Now keep smiling.
What are we supposed to do, just sit around and grin at each other like apes?
No, we're going to light the fire, and then we'll pop this here corn. What fun. Where's the match?
Now, Riley, I don't think you ought to make a fire. We haven't used that fireplace since we moved in.
Peg, will you stop worrying and let me handle this? There. Now, watch her go. Oh, look at the way it draws. Oh, that's going to be a beautiful fire. Put out the lights, Junior. Now we'll pop the corn. Yeah, go on, Babs.
Oh, Daddy, this is so corny.
Well, what do you expect from corn? Go on, hold the popper over the fire. That's it. We should have done this years ago. Listen to that corn pop. There's nothing like a quiet evening at home, that's right.
What?
I said there's nothing like a quiet evening at home.
I can't hear you.
What did you say?
What?
Don't shout, Junior. I'm trying to hear what your mother is saying.
The fireplace is smoking.
What? Don't mumble, Junior.
He says the fireplace is smoking.
Oh, that's a good idea. Let's all sing. How about keep the home fires burning?
The smoke.
Imagination. Come on, join in. Keep the home fires burning.
Daddy, it's all over the roof. I'm suffocating.
Yeah, well, you ain't used to the smell of good, clean pine. Keep the home fires burning.
Oh, the room is full of smoke. Do something right.
Smoke? Shut the window, Junior. The smog is coming in.
I told you not to light that fire. Put it out.
It ain't smoking. Now, come on. Let's have some fun and sing.
Oh.
Keep the home burning. So are yearning. So the boys away they home. Keep the earning. Hey, get the pull motor squad.
Well, we'll bring you the second act of the life of Riley in just a moment. Here she is, the girl everybody's talking about.
I'm Tallulah the cube of proud, Tallulah the cube of proud, and I've got a little something to tell. Your hair can be radiant, oh so easy. All you gotta do is take me home and squeeze me. I'm Tallulah the tube of proud, and I'll make your hair look swell. It'll shine, it'll glow, so dandruff-free. For radiant hair, get a hold of me. Tallulah, the tube of proud shampoo.
Yes, folks, Tallulah's so right. Your hair can be radiant, oh so easy, with Prell, Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo. Because Prell leaves hair radiant the very first time you use it. Radiantly soft, radiantly smooth, radiantly shining. Radiantly clean, too, because Prell removes unsightly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Doctors' examinations proved it. Prove it for yourself. Try Prell Shampoo. Before we rejoin the Rileys, here's a little good news for all of you who love to laugh. In a few weeks, The Life of Raliegh will reach the screen of your favorite theater. Yes, you'll soon be seeing a big, happy movie of The Life of Raliegh starring William Bendix. And it's a film you won't want to miss. And now, Krell Shampoo brings you the second act of The Life of Raliegh. Apparently, our hero seems none the worse for his misadventure with a smoking fireplace last night.
Hi, Peg, I'm home. Peg, I'm home. I said I'm home.
All right, so you're home. What am I supposed to do, cheer?
Well, that's a fine attitude. Now, what's the matter with you kids? You might say hello to your father. Hello.
Hello.
Fine hello. This is the thanks I get after I saved all your lives last night.
Well, who asked you to? Why did you have to go and stick your head out of the window and yell fire? At least you might have had sense enough to open the window first, but no, you had to shove your head right through the glass. Well, say something.
How do you like my crew haircut?
It's a miracle you didn't cut yourself.
I got thick skin.
Every busybody on the street phoned in an alarm. We must have had every fire engine in Los Angeles outside our house.
Well, I thought the house was on fire.
Lucky for us it wasn't. Some hero you'd have been.
Now, just a minute, Peg. I resent that. I had real presence of mind. Didn't I keep yelling, don't worry, I'll save you, Peg?
Yes, while I was carrying you out.
Oh, well, no harm done.
No harm. Just look at this house. Why didn't you tell the firemen it was only the chimney? They smashed half the windows in the house, flooded the floors, the drapes are absolutely ruined.
Well, we just had bad luck. It'll go better tonight.
What will go better?
We'll have another quiet evening around the fire.
What? You have the nerve to stand there and suggest that... I'd rather spend a quiet evening with a...
Now, you're going too far. You got no right to call me a lunatic in front of the kids.
I didn't say you were a lunatic.
Well, you weren't thinking it.
I was thinking of something a lot worse.
Well, that's different. We're going to have a quiet evening, like I say. You got no right depriving the kids of their pleasure.
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm going out.
Me too, Pop.
And so am I.
Well, that's fine. Here I'm breaking my back trying to keep this family together, give you a little home life, and you all... Well, all right, if that's the way you want it, it's okay with me. From now on, this ain't a home with a family. It's just a boarding house to me.
Now, Riley...
I won't even talk to any of you again ever, except to say, pass the butter and how long you're going to be in the bathroom. What a mess. All I want is a little peace and quiet. And if you can't get it in your own home, where can you get it?
Ask a foolish question, you'll get a foolish answer.
Oh, it's you?
Yes, it is I indeed. Digby Odell, the friendly undertaker.
Where you going with those golf clubs, Digger?
Oh, I'm on my way to the weekly session of my golf club, the UEPOHC.
UEPOHC?
The Undertakers, Embalmers, and Pallbearers, one in a hole club.
You mean hole in one?
You play golf your way, I'll play my way.
Well, I've got no time for golf. I'm trying to make a home for my family so they'll respect me. Does your family respect you, Digger?
Not always, I'm afraid. Only the other day, my youngest son, Mustang, took a sign from an airline's office and hung it on the door of my business establishment. Ooh, I was furious.
Well, why? What did the sign say?
Be modern. If you've got to go, lie there.
Yeah, well, my boy don't respect me, or my daughter either.
My female offspring, Lily Byrne, also nettles me. She's a jitterbug, you know, and she's always telling me, Daddy, you're such a square. You're not hip. People just don't dig you.
No respect.
Lily Byrne, I said, I don't care if people don't dig me, as long as I dig people.
You'd think they'd have some consideration. All I want is to have a little family life. Spend a few evenings around the fireside.
A reasonable request.
Yeah, but they won't do it.
Force them. Assert yourself.
Lay down the law.
Yeah, you're right, Digger. I've been too easy.
It's the only solution. In my business, when people get in my way, I put them in their place. And I know just the place to put them. Cheerio. I'd better be shoveling off.
Babsy.
Yes, Mother?
Do you really have to go out tonight?
Well, I have a rehearsal, but I could miss it.
Well, how about you, Junior? Couldn't you go to that movie tomorrow night?
Yeah, I guess so. Why, Mom?
Well, I think maybe we're not being quite fair to your father. After all, he meant well, even if he did practically wreck the house, and he is thinking of us. So tonight, let's give him one of those quiet family evenings he's been wanting. Okay? Okay, Mother.
Well, sure, Mom. It's about time Pop got a break.
Oh, he'll be pleased.
Hey!
There he is. In here, Riley.
Hank, this is a showdown. Ever since we got married, you've been the boss in this house. What you said went. But all that is going to be changed. From now on, I'm going to be the boss. From now on, I'll wear the bloomers in this house. What I say goes, and I say tonight we're all going to stay home and have a quiet evening around the fireplace, and that's an order.
Yes, dear.
Nobody is going out through that front door. Do you hear?
Yes, dear.
Yes? Babs, it's okay with you?
Yes, Daddy.
You too, Junior?
Sure, Pop.
It worked. Here, Junior, here's the doorknob. You can put it back on the door.
Oh, Riley.
Well, I didn't think you'd listen to me.
Well, you see how wrong you were. Now sit down here and relax. Junior, light the fire.
But Peg, the chimney.
I had it fixed.
Oh, it works well now, Pop. Listen to it. Yeah. Well, this is more like it.
Can I put your slippers on, Daddy?
Huh? Well, sure, honey, but I think they'll be too big for you. Oh, well, for me. Thanks. Oh, this is living. Yeah. Nothing like sitting around a fire. Oh, you won't be sorry you stayed in tonight. You're going to find out what you've been missing. Oh, that fire is so nice and warm. We just sit around and talk and sing and tell jokes far into the night. Oh, it's so warm and cozy. Something about a fire that makes you want to talk and talk. Talk.
Now, Riley, don't start sleeping. Too late.
Oh, Daddy, wake up.
Pop, come on, wake up.
Oh, Daddy, that's not fair.
Well, it's no use, Babs. He's out for the night. Well, so much for an interesting evening at home. Well, you might as well go to your rehearsal, Babs.
I might as well. Well, good night.
Is it okay if I go to the movies, Mom?
All right, dear, but get home early.
Okay, I'll see you later, Mom.
And that leaves me with...
Junior, wait for me.
Pop's still asleep, Mom.
That's what I figured.
You think he'll be sorry he went to see Roy Rogers instead of staying to talk to him?
Talk to him. You could get more conversation out of Trigger.
Oh, hi. You back from the movie?
Oh, just now, dear. How was the rehearsal?
Oh, swell. I got a new song, and in the second act... My goodness, is Daddy still asleep?
Yes. Well, we better wake him up and get him to bed. Riley. Riley. It's time to go to sleep.
Huh? Sleep? Who's asleep? I just closed my eyes to rest in a second. Oh, yeah, it's a lovely fire. Now, tell the truth. Ain't you glad you sat around the fire tonight talking to me instead of rushing out to a movie or a silly rehearsal? Nothing like it, eh?
Riley, you think that... You don't know that...
No, what? What's the matter? Why are you all looking at me so funny? Is there something you know that I should know?
It's nothing, dear. Don't worry about it. You know what they say. Ignorance is bliss.
Yes, sir, and I'm the happiest man in the world.
The Rileys will return in just a moment. There's radiance for you in Prel shampoo. Procter & Gamble's Radiant Cream Shampoo in the handy tube. Yes, in the hardest water, Prell leaves hair more radiant than any known cream shampoo you've ever used. It can't leave a dulling film. Just soft, smooth, radiantly shining hair. And Prell gets hair radiantly clean because it removes ugly dandruff in as little as 3 minutes. Doctors' examinations proved it. So don't let soap shampoos dim the beauty of your hair. Use Prell. As Tallulah says,
I'm Tallulah, the tube of Prell, and I'll make your hair look swell. It'll shine, it'll glow so dandruff-free. For radiant hair, get a hold of me. Tallulah, the tube of Prell shampoo.
Listen, Peg, you must think I'm pretty dumb.
You, dear? Nonsense. What do you mean, dear?
You didn't fool me for 1 minute last night.
Oh, then you know.
Yeah, you bet I know. You're a fine one, pretending you were awake when you were asleep all evening. I know, because I don't remember hearing you say a word all night. I have to get up pretty early in the morning to fool Chester Raliegh.
It's a losing fight.
Procter & Gamble invites you to join us again next week to hear The Life of Riley with William Bendix as Riley. The script is by Reuben Schiff, Alan Lipscott, and Dick Powell. Mrs. Riley is Paula Winslow. Digger Odell is John Brown. The Life of Riley is produced by Irving Brecker. And remember, for more radiant hair free of unsightly dandruff, get the shampoo in the tube. P-R-E-L-L, Prell Shampoo.
Sure, Mom, I want to help with the housework, but no dishwashing. It takes so long, and it's so hard on my hands.
Well, you can solve that problem with... Yes, wonderful Ivory Snow. Your own hands will tell you why it's so wonderful for dishwashing. Try Ivory Snow in your dishpan. When you see how it pampers your hands, helps keep them soft and white, you'll be delighted. And Ivory Snow is granulated for instant sudsing. No soap is faster for dishes or kinder to hands than Ivory Snow. The only soap both ivory mild and granulated for efficiency. There's no other soap like it. For speedier dishwashing, for snow-white hands, try wonderful Ivory Snow.
This is Ken Niles reminding you to listen again next Friday when Procter & Gamble bring you a full hour of entertainment. First, Red Skelton, and then The Life of Riley.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.